my dear warriors, welcome. Let me know in the chat box quickly if I'm audible as well as visible. Everybody, show your full strength, show your full energy, show your full josh, because the next discussion session is about to begin. And that's your 24th Jan, session 2, that is the afternoon shift or whatever you want to call it. And looks like I'm audible and visible. I can see all your lovely smiles, all your love in the chat box and raising hands and all the amazing emoticons. So welcome to the physics discussion with me, Shreyas, your physics master teacher at Vedantu, and I'm going live. Make sure you check out the Telegram channel link which is there in the description box below, because that's where you are going to get the PDF, the updates, every single thing that you need for your JEE preparation. It's a holistic channel, and guys, this channel is in English for all the students who want to learn in English. So make sure you stay tuned on this channel with lots and lots of amazing stuff. In case you have not checked that out yet, and some of you might be probably even new to the channel, let me just show it to you quickly as you are watching this video. If you click on this, how was the paper? I'll just tell you everything, guys, everything. So in the past few days, we have uploaded the formula sessions, entire formulas revised right over here, with amazing tricks and tips given to all of you to remember them. And also we have conducted do's and don'ts just before the exam in case you are going to write the exam in the days to come. And also the most expected questions, the predicted questions, everything, the fast track series, everything is there right over here on this channel. Make sure you check out each and everything, not just for this shift or this session, but also for the April attempt. In case you're not aware, I'm pretty sure now you are well versed with this. Okay, all the things that you need, like the Telegram channel, everything is there in the description box. So how is the paper? Guys, the reactions that I'm getting, right? The reactions that I'm getting is, again, physics is easy. Most of it is direct. Few questions here and there. Maybe you have to think a little bit. You will see that. Chemistry is very, I would say, simple. And if you have been attending the classes over here, 100% you can get 80 marks aram se in chemistry. Maths, some questions might be a little bit lengthy again, but not as tough as the 2022 or 2021 papers were. So overall, it is easy. Good that they are making it considerate for all the students who are going to write it in January. Physics was NCERT direct. No, not NCERT because it's not that CBSE level, but you can say it is like NEET level. So NEET and JEE mains paper for physics, you cannot differentiate it too much. Hello Janani, physics is easy. Are there any similar questions for morning and afternoon shift? As of now, I did not find anything, but because these are all memory based questions, maybe some questions got left out here and there. So maybe a few questions could resemble a little bit, but as of now, I did not find anything. Okay. Chalo, numericals were also there. YDSC question, I did not come across any YDSC question. That was very surprising. And those of you are asking, sir, which are the top notch topics that I should be preparing for? Let me tell you guys, there is a video which I have put, 7 minutes video. Do you have 7 minutes? If you have 7 minutes, just watch this. Okay, it's there right over here. You'll have to just even search, you can even search on the YouTube search bar, sure short topics. Okay, high weightage JEE physics. Just search for this video, or you can even find it in the video section. You will easily be able to write down all the high weightage sure short topics. Is that clear? Okay, the class has started, Puneet, right now. Okay, can we prepare from, I don't know about other coaching material, but I can guarantee you if you are preparing from the Vedantu coaching material, guarantee you can get 99.99 percentile also, and even 100 percentile as well. Okay, good. Ramya, you never greet a person by saying good night. You say good night when you are leaving. I know it is night, but you always, even if it is 11 o'clock, you say good evening. Okay, so that's something which you guys should be also aware of. So ready to start solving, my dear students? Chemistry questions are direct from NCERT. Yep. Okay, so don't worry, we have Gautam sir who will be taking up maths. Yep. Okay, so let's begin. Good evening. Everybody say good evening first. Everybody learn this. Whenever you meet a person, no matter, even if it is 11:45 in the night, you are going to say good evening. When you leave, then you say good night. Okay, don't ask me, sir, why this is like that. Sir, English is a very funny language. I know it is very funny language. No, don't say sorry. I'm just going to, see, I'm a teacher. You're a student. You're going to learn. So I don't want you to be embarrassed in front of somebody else. Next time, anybody else tells you, na Ramya, then you will tell them, see, this is what Shreyas sir taught me. Perfecto. Good evening. Good evening. Let's begin the class now. Here is the, I mean, what were they thinking? They thought that, Papa, students, January exam, let them get some marks. Let me just, make a very simple direct question. I know the question is not printed properly over here, but that's okay. I will give you the idea of the question. So I think if gamma is Cp by Cv for monoatomic and gamma 2 is Cp by Cv, basically your standard ratio for diatomic gas, then what is gamma 1 by gamma 2? Okay. So gamma 1 is for monoatomic. So for monoatomic, what is the value of gamma? In case you have forgotten, okay, let me remind you, it is 1 plus 2 by degrees of freedom. Monoatomic has 3 degrees of freedom. So hence it is just going to be 5 by 3. That is the value of gamma 1. Everybody with me on this? Similarly, the value of gamma 2, which is 1 plus 2 by degrees of freedom. How many degrees of freedom are there for a diatomic gas? 3 translational, 2 rotational. So 5. So this will become nothing but 7 by 5. Yes or no? Very nice. So now what is the next step? Last step? Just divide the two. That is what is the question, right? Find gamma 1 by gamma 2. I know there is a misprint, but don't worry about it. So what is gamma 1 by gamma 2? Basically this guy by this guy. So it is basically 5 by 3 divided by 7 by 5. What happens, guys? 5 goes with 5 multiplies and 7 multiplies with 3. Cross multiplication, division, ratios, everything you should be very well versed with. So this will nothing but be 25 by 21. 25 by 21. Okay, so many of you have started putting up the correct answers. 25 by 21. How many of you got 4 marks? How many of you got 4 marks for this question? Please don't tell me you missed out marks here. If you attended my formula revision class, this was direct, super direct, super ooper duper, crazy direct question. I mean, you cannot have a question easier than this on kinetic theory of gases thermodynamics chapter. Okay, moving on to the next question coming up on your screen. Yeah, Jayant, the question paper was easy, bacha. So it's going to be tough fight. It all depends now on your speed, accuracy, and your, just even a little bit of superficial knowledge of all the topics. If you have that much direct formula-based questions also, knowledge you have, that's it. You will score really well, and if your accuracy and speeds are good. Okay, length of a wire is, I don't think it is decreased. It's supposed to be increased. Okay, increased. Okay, it is increased by 20%, then calculate the percentage increase in the resistance. So this was increased, okay, by 20%. I don't think you can use errors concept because the errors are very large. So you cannot use the relative error concept here. What do I mean by that? Resistance is rho times L divided by A, but do not leave it in terms of this part, because if you change the length, the area of cross section also becomes small. So imagine if you have a wire, okay, and you elongate it, it becomes thinner, right? So it becomes thinner. So area also reduces. What is the formula for area, my dear students? Volume is area into length. Volume is area into length. Area will be volume by length. So this will be volume divided by length. So this will become rho L squared divided by volume. The reason for doing that is because I know volume is going to be constant. Volume is going to be constant even when you expand it. So resistance is proportional to the square of L. So resistance is directly proportional to the square of the length. Everybody got this? Everybody got this? Perfecto. So now, my dear students, if the original length was L, 20% increase means it is 1.2 L. 20% increase means it is 1.2 L. 100 plus 20, that is 120%, means basically 1.2 times. So my dear students, the new resistance by the old resistance, will be new length, which is 1.2 L upon the old length, the whole square. So 12 square is 144. So just make it as 1.44. So the new resistance by the old resistance is this. So R2 is basically 1 plus 0.44 times of R1. This 0.44 is going to tell me how much percentage is the increase. So this is an increase of the resistance by 0.44. So if you convert it into percentage, that is, you need to multiply it by 100. So that is nothing but 44%. 44% increase. Everyone with me? Very good, Rasam. Wow, such a yummy name you have, Rasam. Who is Sambar over here? Rasam Setti Lakshmi Devi, very nice. Next time I need to eat or drink Rasam, na, I'm going to contact this guy. Very good. Is there somebody named Idli, also dosa, also chutney? Let's have some snacks. Okay, why I split Karthik just to see how much is the increase. See, just look at it this way, na. See, look at it this way. It is as good as saying R1 plus 0.44 R1. So R1 is original. This is original. What is this? This is basically the increase. This is basically the increase. So 1 plus anything, that anything or plus or minus, whatever, is going to be the increase or decrease. I hope that is clear. Everyone? Why 1.212 Vardhini? This is 20% increase, na bacha? 20% increase. What do I mean by 20% increase? So if the old length was L plus 20%, that is the increase. What does it mean? 20% of L. How much is 20% of L? It is 0.2 L, right? So this will become 1.2 L. Do you guys get it? Why it is 1.2 L? Understood? Okay. Awesome. Sai Ganesh sir explains it so deeply, so no problem. Very good, Sai Ganesh. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's move on to the next question, okay? All these are memory based questions. Hopefully these questions were exactly asked. And I think these kind of questions I have done it many times in the regular classes also, where you cannot use the concept of errors because the percentages are more than 5-6%. So then you cannot use that. You have to basically find the exact relationship and find the value by simple algebra, nothing else. Let's do this. This was, I think, a good question. How many of you enjoyed this question? Let me know on logic gates. So identify the logic gates. This is not S volts. I think that is 5 volts. Anyways, so that is 5 volts. There are two switches A and B. There is grounding and there is bulb. The question is, what do you think is this? Is it OR and NAND XOR gate? So let's try out different cases and see what happens. In the first case, this is 5 volt. Okay, both are open. Both are open, and okay, this is a bulb which will have some kind of resistance, and this is grounded over here. This is grounded over here. If both are open, that means this is 0, this is 0. What will happen? The current will obviously flow through the bulb. The current will flow through the bulb. It will look like it is on. That means it is 1. 0 and 0 gives you 1. Everybody with me? Because it will glow. The current will flow. It will glow. The current will flow. Such a nice rhyming scheme. I think Shakespeare will be impressed by this. Next, again, if you have 5 volt over here and now you turn on this switch but leave the other switch open. Leave the other switch open. Then what will happen, my dear students? Then what will happen, my dear students? Think about it. Obviously, current still can't completely glow from the second branch. So the current has only one option but to flow from this particular part. So this was 1, this was 0. The answer was still 1. Everybody with me? This was still 1. Everybody with me? Yes. So 0 and 1. 0 and 1 is also 1. In fact, you will also see 0 and 1. 1 0 or 0 1 will also give you 1. So this will also give you 1 because whether this is on or this is on doesn't matter because the current can't flow through this part of the circuit. Now the last possible option is where you have the 5 volt over here and both the switches are closed. Both the switches are closed. Now think, my dear students, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? This is also 1, this is also 1. Now the current will basically go through these switches like this. Nothing will flow through the bulb because now you have shorted it. This is a wire. This is like a least resistance path. This is a resistor. So the current will bypass it completely and you will get 0. So 0 0 is 1, 1 0 is 1, 0 1 is also 1, 1 1 is 0. Which kind of gate is this? Which kind of gate is this? Isn't this a NAND gate? Very good. Who was that? Yep, it's not NOR, it's NAND. Very good, Harshita. Very good, Salar 26. Very nice. Some of you got it. Perfecto, perfecto. Yep, it is a NAND gate. By fear when the captain is here. Very true, Shashank. True words, golden words being spoken. Yes, Durga. Very good, Pranati. Yes, option C. C for captain, Shreyas. Yes, of course, that's the answer. Everyone with me? Perfecto. Understood? Thank you, M. Lakshmi, for all those kind words. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad I'm also gifted in other way around to have such amazing students who are studying. Okay, this question, I posted this on Telegram right now saying that, you know what, we just did it yesterday in the most predicted question series. If you have been attending my class, I mean, just for no reason you get marks here. Even if you are not aiming for high marks, na, just because you are attending my classes, I think you will get marks. It is a byproduct. It is like a side effect. And students are like, oh my god, I just casually attended sir's class and I just learned so many things. So over here you can see there is a rod which is rotating in the magnetic field, and the question is basically, what is the EMF induced? I told you, whenever you have a rotating rod, the EMF induced is directly half B omega L square. This is a formula which you are supposed to remember. In fact, what I did in the class was much more complicated question. This was much more complicated question. I mean, this is direct, like what were they thinking? I don't know. I mean, you should be happy, and other students who are from other shifts might be jealous right now. How many of you are from other shifts whose exam is there tomorrow, or maybe on 30th or 31st or 1st, and you're like, sir, these kids are so lucky. They got this question. I wish I had my exam today and I would be done with it. I would get more days to study now. Crazy, right? Look at that. So many of you are feeling very jealous looking at these kids out here. Okay, let's look at this question. This question. Oh, this is the repeated question. Guys, breaking announcement. I just realized that this question in a different way came in the morning shift. Not exactly same. So those kids who are asking, sir, can questions get repeated on the same day? Well, here it is, a live example. You can just check the video even right now. A very similar question has come in the morning shift. So that means you need to attend each and every shift's question papers being discussed right over here. There's a high chance you might see at least few questions by the end of the last day. All right, let's have a look. E is equal to E naught this, B is equal to B naught this, electric magnetic fields. Find the relation between E naught and B naught. I don't know in what form they want, but remember E naught by B naught is basically speed of light, which is also omega by K. So this is basically the relationship. That's it. Let's just check whether it is correct. Yes, it is correct. So electric field in terms of magnetic field, it's one and the same thing. Shift B naught there. So therefore E naught will be, shift B naught there, it will be omega by K into B naught. How many of you remember this from the morning shift? How many of you? Yes, Sudarsh, Subhash, your messages are visible. 4 marks to you, Lakshmi, very true. I came to know what chapter is this, Sanjay. I don't know if you're talking about this question. This is from Electromagnetic Waves of 12th. This question is from the chapter of Electromagnetic Induction, again in 12th standard. Okay, so that's the answer. Direct marks in your pocket. This question, oh my god, I'm really tired of seeing this. We have done this so many times in our regular classes. I mean, you can't possibly get a simpler question than this. How many times we have done this kind of question? Medium changes, what is the new focal length? How many times? We have done questions on power also. So if you are regular, you know this already. Anyways, lens maker formula, 1 by F is equal to mu relative minus 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. That is how it works. Okay, so what is it? It's a biconvex lens. So it's a biconvex lens like this. So one of the radius will be here. This is center of curvature 1, and the center of curvature 2 will be over here. So if this is the positive side, this is the negative side. The rays of light are coming like this. The rays of light are coming like this. So positive, negative. So let's start doing this. What is the relative refractive index in water? Oh, this is glass. Glass is 1.5. So relative refractive index is basically going to be the refractive index of glass upon the refractive index of water. What is the refractive index of glass? It is 1.5. What is the refractive index of water? It is 4 by 3. Okay, minus 1 into 1 by R1. What is R1? Radius of curvature first time. It's going to be 18. And second time, be careful, it is going to be minus 18. If you write it as 18, then gone, you will get 0 marks. That's not correct. Okay, so what will happen over here is that you will have 3 by 2 and here into 4, and that will become 3. 3 goes upstairs, and this is minus 1. This will just become 1 by 18 plus 1 by 18, which is basically 2 by 18. Yes or no? Okay, so what will this become? 9 by 8 minus 1. 9 by 8, correct? 3 3s are 9 and 2 4s are 8. 9 by 8 minus 1, guys. So that will become 1 by 8, and here you will have 1 by 9. So what will it be? 1 by 72. But that is not the answer because that is 1 by F. Be careful. So focal length is basically 72 centimeters. Let's check it if it is correct. Yes, it is correct answer. 72 centimeters. That's the answer. Rakesh got it correct. Lakshmi also got it correct. Very nice, Jinshul, Hiranmay. Very nice. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yes, very nice. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Cool, kudos. Let's move on to another question coming up on your screen. So there are two concentric semi-sinks. I don't know what the hell is semi-sinks. I think it will be semicircular rings. Okay, so it's not somebody by the name of singing. It's not semi-singing. Okay, it's not a singer, guys. It's not popular. It's a semicircular ring. Semicircular ring. So this is what happens. This is silly mistakes. Semicircular rings. So our content team was also worked up because they have to type fatafat. Oh, sir is going to go for discussion. So fatafat, this is what they do. So this is exactly what happens in the examination hall as well, okay? So when you are in a hurry, right, then you make silly mistakes. I know this is ignorable. I mean, you can just forget about it. But I'm just saying, when you're in a hurry, that's how you make silly mistakes. Okay, cool. Anyways, point conveyed. Let's move on to the question. So we have semicircular rings. Linear charge density lambda is shown. And where is it shown? I think I need to perform some magic trick. I just don't know how it's going to look like. Let me just figure out how does it look. If anybody knows how does it look, please let me know in the chat box. Let me know in the chat box. Just 1 second, guys. 1 second. Let me see how it looks. Where is it, man? So how was it looking, guys? Anybody who can tell me? Concentric, just 1 second. Okay, yes, I got it over here somewhere like this. Okay, so I just don't know what the exact values of radius are. I'm just assuming it as R1 and R2. This is lambda and this is also lambda. I just don't know what is the value of R1, R2. Probably it was R2R or R3R or R4R or something like that. So question is find the potential. Array, potential is so easy. Potential at this point, the center. So the potential at the center will be potential due to one ring plus potential due to the other semicircular ring. All the charges are at the same distance. This. All charges are at the same distance. When the distance is same, and potential is a scalar quantity, it is a scalar quantity. Don't worry about the direction, don't worry about the components. It will be just kq by r. Yes or no? It will be just kq by r. So here it will be k charge on 1 divided by the radius 1 plus here it will be k charge on 2 divided by radius 2. Now you might be wondering what is q1 and q2. Here it is. What you need to do is q1 charge on 1 will be nothing but lambda is the charge density per length. The length of that will be pi r. Correct? Yes or no? Pi r. 2 pi r is circle, semicircle, no? This is semicircle, so pi r. So q1 will be lambda times of r1. See if you guys got it. Yes or no? Everyone with me? Awesome. Plus, what will the next term be? K by r2. What is charge on this guy? It will be lambda is per meter into the length. Per meter into the length will give me the total charge. So the length will be pi r2. So it will be lambda into pi r2. Lambda into pi r2. Yes or no, guys? Perfect. R1, R2 gets cancelled. R1 and R2 gets cancelled. That is the best part. Okay, cool. And what is it that I'm getting? K lambda. Oh, sorry, there is a pi over here. My bad. K lambda pi. So it will be 2k lambda pi. But k is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. And this is lambda and this is pi. Pi by 2 and 4 also cancels. So I'm left with lambda by 2 epsilon naught. Lambda by 2 epsilon naught. Oh, it is not even dependent on the radius. Bye. Option B. Many of you said option B. Perfecto. Thank you, Lalit. Thank you so much. Sir, numericals negative marking is not there. Yes. It is not there. It is not there. Other people also listen. In numerical, there is no negative marking. Okay, what do we have here? A nucleus X. It's not nuclear of X. Nucleus of X of atomic mass 240 releases 200 mega electron volts of energy undergoes fission, how much energy will be released by 120 grams of X? I feel I'm reminded of mole concept after looking at this question. I'll tell you why. 240 grams, 240 is the atomic mass number, but you have 120 grams of X. That means how many moles you have? Think about it. The molar mass is basically 240 grams per mole, and the mass that you actually have of that particular element is basically 120 grams. So guys, therefore the number of moles which are there with you, how many moles are there? Exactly half mole. Exactly half mole. Everyone with me? Everyone with me? Half a mole means how many atoms? Avogadro number times half. So half into 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 atoms will be there. Atoms will be there. 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 into half. Number of atoms will be there. Now each atom, okay, releases 200 mega electron volt. So therefore total energy released will be how much? Half into 6.02 into 10 to the power 23 into each atom releases this much. These many atoms will release this into how much do you release per atom? 200 mega electron volt. But that's not the end of the story, because the answer is in joules. Be careful. This will be 6.02 divided by 2 into 10 to the power 23 into 200. Now mega is 10 to the power 6. Mega means kilo is 10 to the power 3, mega is 10 to the power 6, giga is 10 to the power 9, tera is 10 to the power 12. So electron volts, so multiplied by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19, whatever you get will be in joules. Whatever you get will be in joules. Some of you are saying option A, perfecto. This is the calculation part which has been kept over here. But when you solve this, you get option A. So all those cool students, COC player, and who else was there? Jishnu and so many of you were saying option A, perfecto. Onkar Kange, you will be getting the session PDF after some time, just probably wait till night or something, in the Telegram channel. Where are you going to find the Telegram channel? In the description box, there is a link. Click on that link, you will be able to join. Is that okay? Perfecto. And those of you who think that, sir, this paper was super duper easy, or maybe I can easily get 95, 98, 99 percentile, let me tell you, Ekalavya batch is starting very soon. There is a link in the description box for joining the Ekalavya batch. Those of you are not aware, Ekalavya is a free program for all the students who are sincere and oriented towards cracking JEE Advanced and want to get into the top-notch IITs. Last year, 2,500 students got into IITs just from the Ekalavya program. It's completely free right from the beginning till the assignments, test series, coaching, doubt solving, counseling, everything is free of cost. So consider joining that in case you are confident about getting over 97, 98 percentile. Okay. So here is another question coming up on your screen, guys. So frequency is proportional to R raised to A, rho raised to B, T raised to C. What is this? Frequency, density, surface tension. I just told you, yesterday also, you should know how to solve these questions on units and dimensions using dimensional analysis. It's the same thing, yeah. Anyways, I'll just tell you how you can do. The frequency has a dimension of T raised to minus 1, okay. Then what is it? Radius, na? What is it? Frequency, I don't know whether R is radius, just confirm if R is radius. I'm assuming R is radius, so it will have the dimension of L raised to 1. Then what is it? Density will have a dimension of mass, so M raised to 1 upon volume, so L raised to minus 3. Volume is L cube, so that's how it is. Yep, everyone. Yeah, we did a question on Reynolds number, but this is not Reynolds number, this is something else. Now this is surface tension. Now surface tension is having a dimension of force by length, force acting per unit length. Dimension of force is M1 M1L T raised to minus 2, the whole thing divided by L. So you can see LL cancels, LL cancels, so dimension of surface tension. Now I really don't like this surface tension symbol because you might confuse it with time. So I would prefer writing surface tension as S. How many of you got confused with the symbol T and the actual time? So if you get confused, replace the symbol, it will work better. Okay, so this will be nothing but M raised to 1 and you have no dimension of length. T raised to nothing but -2. Now you got the dimensions, you just apply the dimensional formula. So basically T raised to -1 will be R raised to A, that means L raised to A. Then what else you have? M1, L raised to -3 raised to B. So M raised to A, L raised to -3, sorry, this is B, my bad. This is B, L raised to -3B. And into, what do you have? Surface tension raised to C. So surface tension is M. So M raised to C and T raised to -2. So T raised to -2C. Now you just compare the powers, add the powers. First of all, just write it as L raised to A minus 3B is there. Then you have M raised to B plus C is there, and time raised to, oh my god, time is only there as this -2C, and here time is as -1. Just compare the powers and you will get the answer. Like -1 times power is -1, here it is -2C. Here there is nothing of length, so it is A minus 3B is equal to 0, and here B plus C is equal to 0. Solving, you will get A, B and C. This much part you do. Everyone with me? So just check if you get A, B, C. I have done the calculations also over here. This is the value that you should get. Everyone? Cool? Done, done? Awesome. Option A it is. Yep. Okay, option A it is. Okay, so I have this many questions, but there are more questions coming, of course. I think either Wasim sir or I think Wasim sir should be ready by now. Let me just call up Wasim sir and let me get him on the stage for chemistry, and after that you're going to have maths, and then remaining questions of physics also are coming. Wasim sir, students are waiting. Are you ready? Awesome. So I'm ending the stream. Okay, okay. So guys, Wasim sir is going to be live any moment. Okay, so make sure you're smashing the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'll be coming back very soon with the remaining part of the questions for physics. Okay, so maths also will happen after this, don't worry. All right, see you guys very soon. Don't go anywhere. All right.
Hey guys, can you hear me? Am I audible, visible to everyone? Am I audible, visible to everyone? Quickly, let me know in the chats. Good evening and welcome back. Good evening, people, and welcome back. Let me know quickly in the chats if all of you can hear me, if I'm perfectly audible, visible to everyone. Yes? Perfectly done, guys. Perfectly. So, I hope all your physics questions, whatever Shreya sir just is done with, I hope all of you have done those questions properly. Now, my dear students, we'll have the chemistry discussion, and I'm almost ready with some 20 questions which I got from the students, right? Let's solve these 20 questions approximately one by one so that you get the idea of whether whatever you have done in chemistry is right or wrong. So, my dear students, first of all, I'll tell you again the shift second of today's chemistry section. It's again damn easy, right? There was only one question which I found interesting basically, right? Which a lot of students would have, I think they wouldn't have attempted it. Perfect. So all the other questions, whatever was asked in the second shift, they were damn easy, my dear students, right? So how was your paper? Just let me know in the chats once. Just let me know quickly. Just let me know quickly. Just let me know quickly. How was the paper, people? How did you like it? Quickly. I can see a lot of students are saying it was easy. Yes, absolutely, people, it was easy, right? Perfectly done. So let's move on. Let's get going. Let's get started with the chemistry discussion. The first question from the chapter Ionic Equilibrium, which is on your screen. Have a look on the question, people. pKa of lactic acid. First of all, lactic acid. Lactic acid is the example of the weak acid, right? As per the question, pKa of lactic acid is 4. Find the pH of 0.005 molar calcium lactate. Calcium lactate is basically, it is going to be a salt of weak acid and strong base. It's going to be the salt of weak acid and strong base. Now, my dear students, if you remember, how do we exactly calculate the pH of the salt which is of the type weak acid and strong base? When the salt of weak acid and strong base undergoes hydrolysis, how do we exactly get the pH? there is one simple result which I'm 100% sure you will be remembering, and I'm sure majority of you guys would have killed this question, yeah? See guys, I must say pH, when the salt of weak acid and strong base undergoes hydrolysis, it's always equal 7 plus half of, it's going to be P of Ka plus log of C. What is the C over here? C is the concentration of salt, and concentration of salt is given to you. Perfect. Now people, every single thing is given. Just you have to put the values into this particular expression. That's all, right? So I would say pH is equal. It's going to be 7 plus half of P of Ka value as per the question that's given to us as 4, and it's going to be log of C. What is C? C is the concentration of salt over here, which is 5 into 10 raised to the power minus 3. It is 5 into 10 raised to the power minus 3. Perfect. Now my dear students, I'm sure you'll be easily doing the calculation part over here. From here, it's going to be 4 plus log of 5. Log of 5 is approximately 0.67. Log of 10 raised to power 3 is minus 3. This is the part of the calculation which you need to do and get the answer of this particular question. Perfect. Let me know once in the chats if you got to know how to tackle this question. Yes, exactly, Dharani. You can expect similar sort of questions in the upcoming shifts as well. You cannot expect the same questions with same values. No way. Right? But the type of the question, pattern of the question is absolutely going to be the same. Right? Perfect, guys. So it is just you need to identify the salt, then accordingly you have to use the result. For example, in this shift, the question was from the salt of weak acid strong base. For example, in the tomorrow shift, it's going to be strong acid weak base. It is just you have to manipulate the formula, that's all. Perfect? Alright guys, so this was the first question, which is done and dusted. Have a look on this particular question. The question is from the chapter Thermodynamics, right? The question is from the chapter Thermodynamics. Let's see exactly what the question says. So basically, as you can see over here, you are starting from this point and you're finally reaching at this point only. So it is basically a cyclic process in which the system returns to its initial state. So it's a cyclic process, right? Now, first to second, from 1 to 2, it's given in the question that it's isobaric. As you can see from the curve as well, it's isobaric, basically pressure is remaining constant, right people? Then from 2 to 3, it's absolutely isochoric, and at the same time from 3 to 1, it's isothermal. 3 to 1 is isothermal. This is something which is given to us as per the question. What are we supposed to calculate? All processes are reversible. Find out the work done by the gas for the complete cyclic process in atm liter. See exactly how we are going to deal with this question. My dear students, I would say something like this. Net work done during the cyclic process. Net work done during the cyclic process is simply going to be work done during the process 1 to 2 plus work done during the process 2 to 3 plus work done during the process 3 to 1. 3 to 1. Correct? So we are supposed to calculate the net work done. And net work done, I'll be doing the sum of the individual works, right? Now, as per the question, this 1 to 2, it's isobaric. How do we calculate work done in isobaric processes? If I say W1 to 2, isn't it simply going to be equal to minus P delta V? Delta V is just going to be V2 minus V1. Perfect. So it's going to be minus, what is the value of pressure here? Just a second. Is this 1 or, okay, either this will be 0.5 or this will be 10, something like that, okay? Just leave the values aside. Either this will be 0.5 or this will be 10, something. There's a mistake in this question, okay? I'm considering this as 0.5, this as 1. Or it can be like this also, 5, this will be 10. Let me just check once. 10 into 20 is basically 200. 5 multiplied by 40 is also 200. Okay, so this is 10 over here, right? I'm considering this as the 10. All right, so minus times. Pressure over here is given as 10. V2 minus V1. V2 is final volume 40 liters, initial volume 20 liters. So 40 minus 20 comes out to be 20. So W value in this process is going to be minus 200 atm liter. So this is the value of W during the process 1 to 2, right? Now people, W during the process 2 to 3. W during the process 2 to 3. What exactly it's going to be? Since it's isochoric process and work done is absolutely going to be 0, right? Similarly, my dear students, W during the process 3 to 1. 3 to 1. As per the question, this 3 to 1, it is the reversible isothermal process. How do you exactly calculate the work done in reversible isothermal process? I hope you guys remember. Work done in reversible isothermal process. It is equal to minus 2.303 nRT. It's going to be log of V2 divided by V1. This is the expression to calculate work done during the reversible isothermal process. Now, my dear students, since n value is not given, temperature is not given, so instead of nRT, I'll be directly writing P multiplied by V. Instead of this nRT over here, I'll be just writing P multiplied by V. Perfect. Now you just have to put the values. It's going to be minus 2.303 P multiplied by V. What is the value of pressure here? 10. What is the value of V over here? It's 20. So 10 multiplied by 20 comes out to be 10 multiplied by 20 comes out to be 200, right? So multiplying it with 200. Perfect. It's going to be log of V2 by V1. So log of V2 divided by V1. I'm talking about the process 3 to 1, right? So this is the final volume. This is the initial volume. So it's 20 divided by 40, which comes out to be 1 by 2. Or 1 by 2 you can write as 2 raised power minus 1. 2 raised power minus 1. Or you can just remove this minus 1 from here and make this positive over here. And log 2 value, my dear students, as you all must be knowing, it's 0.3. Log 2 is 0.3. So I'm just removing log 2 also here. Instead of it, I'm just keeping 0.3. Can't you do a bit of calculation over here? So this will be work done during the process 3 to 1 in ATM liter. In ATM liter. What was I supposed to calculate? I was supposed to calculate the net work done during the process. So I have to do the addition of all these works. So minus 200 plus this value. Minus 200 plus this value. That is going to give you the net work done during the process. Perfect, people? Find out the work done by the gas. At the same time, understand one more thing. Understand one more thing. What is the value which will be coming out from here? It will be, this is approximately 400 something, right? 400 something multiplied by 0.3 will be, I'll take approximate values, okay? It will be approximately, this value will come out to be 120 approximately, right? I'll take the approximate value. For example, this value is 120 ATM liter. If this value is 120 ATM liter, let me calculate the net work done. So net work done is just going to be minus 200 plus 120. Minus 200 plus 120 comes out to be how much? Minus 200 plus 120. It comes out to be minus 80 ATM liter. Now, my dear students, here's a trick. Understand. First of all, this minus tells you that net work is done by the system, by the gas. Perfect. This minus signifies that net work is done by the gas. As per the question, if the question would have been asked like this, calculate the net work done. If the question would have been asked like this, calculate the net work done, then the answer would have been this minus 80. But the question is itself saying that calculate the work done by the gas. Perfect. So minus is already included. So you just have to write the magnitude. So it's approximately this 80 ATM liter over here, which can be your final answer. I hope you got to know. If the question says calculate the net work done, you have to write the sign as well. Now the question is saying over here, calculate the net work done by the gas. So it's already mentioned that work is done by the gas. So minus is already considered, right? You just have to write this magnitude. Perfect. So this was a question which was asked from the thermodynamics part. Moving on to one more question. See what kind of simple question this was. Can you let me know quickly? Can you let me know quickly? Sir, what is the formula for strong base and weak acid? I told you strong base and weak acid, right? 7 plus half of P of Ka plus log of C. Alright, look at this particular question, people. Just give it a try. Which of the following concentration terms are temperature independent? Temperature independent. If you talk about mole fraction, what is the formula to calculate mole fraction? Let's say I'm talking mole fraction of solute. Mole fraction of solute means number of moles of solute divided by total moles present in the solution, right? Weight by weight percentage. What is the result to calculate weight by weight percentage? For example, I'm talking about weight by weight percent of solute. It is just going to be equal mass of solute in grams divided by mass of solution in grams multiplied by 100, right? Then you have got molarity. How do we calculate molarity? It's number of moles of solute divided by volume of solution in liters, right? Then you have got molality. Molality is number of moles of solute divided by mass of solvent in kg. Perfect. Then you have got volume by volume percentage. Okay, ppm, parts per million of solute. For example, I'm writing parts per million of solute. It is just going to be mass of solute in grams divided by, it's going to be mass of solution in grams multiplied by 10 raised power 6. Perfect. Then you have got volume by volume percent. What is the result to calculate volume by volume percent of solute? It is the volume of solute in milliliters divided by volume of solution in milliliters multiplied by 100. Perfect. What I need to check? Which of the following concentration terms are temperature independent? Just say the results. Do you see any volume term mentioned over here? There is no volume term mentioned here. It is basically volume which is temperature dependent. It is basically volume which is temperature dependent. That makes the concentration term temperature dependent. Right? Right, guys? Now look here. Look here carefully. There is no volume term mentioned over here. So this one is temperature independent. There is no volume term mentioned in this result. This one is temperature independent as well. Volume term is mentioned. So this is temperature dependent. Right? What about this one? Independent. What about this one? Independent. What about this one? Dependent. Right? So how many? How many people? So it's going to be mole fraction. That's temperature independent. Mass percentage, temperature independent. Molality, temperature independent. And ppm, temperature independent. So answer is going to be 4 exactly, right? Perfect. Perfect, guys. Moving on, this was one more question which was asked in the evening shift. All right. Moving ahead to one more question. Look at this one. Look at this one carefully. It's simple and basic. S subshell electron. S subshell electrons in the univalent species of having. Basically, the question is, you have got a univalent species whose atomic number is 55. Basically, univalent means univalent species having atomic number 55. Which element that is? That is cesium. But he's asking univalent, so it is Cs positive, cesium positive. He's talking about Cs positive. How many S electrons are there in Cs positive? Total number of S electrons in Cs positive. You just have to write its electronic configuration. You just have to write its electronic configuration. Or if you do not want to write the electronic configuration, still you can solve this question. See guys, if you talk about group first, it's lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, right? For example, you have got lithium. Lithium has got the outermost configuration of 2s1. This is 3s1. This is 4s1. This is 5s1. This is 6s1. Perfect. So we are talking about cesium, correct? We are talking about cesium. If I talk about cesium, cesium's last electron is in 6s, right? Its last electron, cesium's last electron is in 6s. Now before 6s there will be something, right? There will be 5s carrying 2 electrons. There will be something. There will be 4s carrying 2 electrons. There will be something. There will be 3s carrying 2 electrons. Something. 2s carrying 2 electrons. And then 1s carrying 2 electrons. Now we are talking about Cs positive. If we are talking about Cs positive, so take this electron out. Take this electron out. Now calculate how many s electrons are there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So total there are 10 s electrons present in Cs positive, my dear students. Perfect. Perfect. Or if you want to write its electronic configuration, you can do that if you have time in the examination. So 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. Perfect. Or you can do something like this as well. Yeah. Perfect. Moving on to one more question then. All right. There was something asked related to the oxidizing agent. You were basically given with some lanthanoids. You were supposed to check which of the following lanthanoid is the oxidizing agent, good oxidizing agent, something like that, yeah? Now people, if I talk about the common oxidation states of lanthanoids, it's +3. It's +3. Common oxidation state of lanthanoid, it's +3. Over here, one of the option is Ce+4, Ce+4, right? The common oxidation state is what? +3. So Ce+4 can get converted into Ce+3 when it gains electron. If I give 1 electron to Ce+4, it is going to get converted into Ce+3. That means if it is gaining electron, it is undergoing reduction. If it is undergoing reduction, it is the oxidizing agent, right? So I don't know what were the other options, but this would have been the correct answer for this, based on this particular table which is given in NCERT as well. Right? Right, people? Perfect. These are the memory-based questions basically, right, which we get from the students. I got to know just there was, What he could remember only this option, and fortunately it would have been the right answer, right? If they were asking about what? If they were asking about the oxidizing agent. Yeah? Perfect. Someone is saying, sir, formula for strong acid and weak base. Strong acid, weak base formula will be pH, strong acid and weak base. So it's 7 minus half of P of Kb plus log of C. This is the formula for that, okay? Anyways, moving ahead, people, moving ahead. This question, check it out carefully. The total number of unpaired electrons in the following molecular orbitals. Total number of unpaired electrons, people. Well, you must be knowing all the 14 electron species. First of all, they have got the bond order of 3. They have got bond order of 3, and they have got 0 unpaired electrons. 14 electron species, like N2, right? If I talk about O2, 16 electron species. 16 electron species have got the bond order of 2, and they have got 2 unpaired electron species, right? 15 electron species, they have got bond order of 2.5, and they have got 1 electron unpaired in them, right? If you'll be having 17 electron species, they will be having the bond order of 1.5, and they'll have 1 electron as unpaired, right? Now what are we given with? Okay. Then you have got 13 electron species. 13 electron species again has got the bond order of 2.5. They have got 1 unpaired electron, right? Now we will look at these cases. N2, it's a 14 electron species. 1 nitrogen contains 7 electrons, so 2 nitrogen contains 14 electrons. N2 positive, 13 electron species. O2, 16 electron species. O2 positive, 15 electron species, right? So no unpaired electrons here. 13 electron species has got 1 unpaired electron. 16 electron species has got 2 unpaired electrons. O2 positive, 15 electron species has got 1 unpaired electrons. Either the question would have been like this, or you would have to calculate the sum of the unpaired electrons. If they asked about the sum of the unpaired electrons, then the answer would have been 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4. Anything could have been asked. I don't exactly remember what was the exact thing that was asked in the question, right? Perfect, people? Perfect? All right, moving on to one more question. This was one more question asked. The oxidation state of the most electronegative element in the products of the reaction. So basically, it is BaO2 which you are making to react with H2SO4. So first of all, you need to say exactly what the product is. The question is, the reaction is directly again taken from your NCERT. In the morning shift also, there was one reaction directly like this. In the morning shift, the reaction of BeO. Now they had given BaO2. Perfect. Now what is the reaction? What are the products of this reaction? In this particular reaction, you get hydrogen peroxide and you get barium sulfate, BaSO4. Now the question says, the oxidation state of the most electronegative element in the products. If I ask you, which one is most electronegative element among these two? It's going to be oxygen. And the oxidation state of oxygen in hydrogen peroxide, you must be knowing that's -1, right? In this particular compound, which one is most electronegative? It's oxygen. And oxygen will be having -2 oxygen state, right? So the answer is going to be just -1 and -2, right? The oxidation states of the most electronegative elements in the products. In the product, oxygen is the most electronegative, right? But over here, it's a peroxide. Right here, it's a normal oxide, right? It's going to show -1 here. It's going to show -2 here. I hope this question is clear to everyone, right? Perfect, guys. So moving on to one more question. There was something related to crystal field theory, right? I mean, a student, he could not memorize exactly what the question was. Some incorrect statement about crystal field theory, right? So you just go through this paragraph after this session, right? Something could have been asked from this particular paragraph, my dear students. Something could have been asked from this particular paragraph. This paragraph says limitations of CFT, right? Limitations of CFT, it is basically. Yeah? Right? Something has been asked from this paragraph. I exactly do not know what the question was, but something would have been from this, because the question was the incorrect statement about CFT. Perfect. So something would have been asked from the limitation of CFT, which you can check afterwards. All right. Do you remember in the last session, in the last short session, I gave you the structure of oleum, if you remember, right? Same is the question. What is the sum of pi electrons? Either the question would have been the sum of pi electrons or the sum of pi bonds, something like that. Either the question would have been sum of pi electrons or sum of pi bonds, right? Now people, what is the sum of pi electrons in pyrosulfuric acid and peroxo disulfuric acid? So this is your peroxo disulfuric acid, which is what you call as Marshall's acid as well. This is what you call as Marshall's acid. In the yesterday's session I've told you this in the short, right? This is H2SO7. What do we call this as? This is also called as oleum. Perfect. You need to know their structures. I told you yesterday only. When I gave the short session, I told you in that session only, right? So one is your Marshall's acid, one is your oleum. What you need to calculate? Sum of, basically the question would have been the sum of pi bonds basically, right? The sum of pi bonds would have been the actual question as far as I can guess, right? So how many pi bonds? This is one pi bond, this is the second pi bond, right? Third one, fourth one, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in total there are 8 pi bonds. In total there are 8 pi bonds present in Marshall's acid plus oleum. 8 pi bond means 16 pi electrons. 8 pi bond means 16 pi electrons. So anything could have been asked. If it was calculate the total number of pi bonds, then the answer would have been 8. If the question was calculate the pi electrons, right, then the answer would have been 16 pi electrons, right? So whatever the question was, either pi bonds or pi electrons, I'm 100% sure you would have solved it properly, right? Okay, magnetic property and hybridization of cobalt in this particular complex, right? How many times have we solved these sort of questions, people? How many times? First of all, the complex is CO NH36 tripositive. This would have been the complex. This would have been the complex, right? This would have been the complex. Now people, if I ask you what is the oxidation state of this cobalt over here, it's +3, right? Oxidation state of cobalt is +3. If I ask you what is the outermost configuration of cobalt? Iron, cobalt, 3d7 It is 3d7 But cobalt over here is in +3 oxidation state. So basically you have to take 3 electrons out. 2 from here, 1 from here. It becomes 3d6. This is 3d6. This is 4s0. This is 4p0. Now, my dear students, just write the exact configuration first of all. Just write the exact configuration. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 4 is carrying 0. This is 4p carrying 0, right? Now, people just check one thing. NH3 is here, right? If I ask you, what is the coordination number of cobalt in this particular case? Since this cobalt tripositive, it's attached to 6 monodentate ligands, so definitely there'll be 6 coordinate bonds. So I must say the coordination number of this cobalt in this complex is 6. That means this cobalt tripositive has to arrange some 6 vacant orbitals for hybridization. Now people just understand one thing. Is this NH3 weak field or strong field? It's a strong field. If it's a strong field ligand, it's going to cause the pairing of electrons. So one electron will shift, for example, here, one electron will shift here. Perfect. When pairing is done, once the pairing is done, what will happen at the end? 2 electrons here, 2 electrons here, 2 electrons here. Now this is the rest as such, okay? As I told you, this cobalt tripositive, it has to arrange some 6 vacant orbitals for hybridization. Out of those 6, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 3, 6. So the hybridization involved is D2sp3. The hybridization involved is D2sp3. Perfect. Which complex it's going to be? It's absolutely going to be octahedral complex, right? It's absolutely going to be octahedral complex. So how many unpaired electrons are there? There are no unpaired electrons. No unpaired electrons. No unpaired electrons. If there are no unpaired electrons, so what is the value of magnetic moment? Magnetic moment is going to be 0. Is it going to be the high spin complex or low spin complex? It's absolutely going to be low spin complex. It's going to be low spin complex, right? So anything could have been asked out of this. Magnetic property, right? Magnetic moment would have been asked and hybridization would have been asked, or geometry, whatever. I'm 100% sure you'd have done it properly, yeah? Perfect. All right, guys. So moving on to one more question. Look at the question carefully. In which of the following metal extraction, oxidation and reduction processes both are involved? Right? For which of the following metal extraction, oxidation as well as reduction both are involved? It's a very common question and a lot of times this question has been asked. Can you let me know in the chats quickly? Can you let me know in the charts quickly? What did you write in this one? My dear students, it's going to be gold. It's a very common question directly from the NCERT. Why is that? Have a look. If you look at these particular reactions, when we do the extraction of gold, these are the two reactions you have to take into consideration. Have a look. The oxidation state of gold right here is 0. Perfect. And the oxidation state of gold over here will be +1. So gold is changing its oxidation state from 0 to +1. Is it increase in the oxidation state or decrease? It is increase in the oxidation state. Increase in the oxidation state means oxidation. So in the first process, gold is undergoing oxidation. Right? In the first process, gold is undergoing oxidation. Look at the second process, guys. The oxidation state of gold over here is +1. Right here it's 0. +1 to 0. It is decrease in the oxidation state. Decrease in the oxidation state is something which you call as reduction. Right? So in the same process, gold first undergoes oxidation, then it undergoes reduction. So during the extraction of gold, oxidation as well as reduction takes place. That's something which was asked to you, right? That's something which was asked to you. Isn't it simple? Again, a simple basic question this is, right? Perfectly done. All right. I'm not sure whether this question was asked, but still you can just confirm it in the chats. Just let me know in the chats. Was this the question asked? How many s electrons are there in bromine? Quickly. How many s electrons are there in bromine? Just let me know once quickly. Quickly, people. Quickly. Was this the question asked? Was this the question asked? Yes? Alright, people are saying yes, the question was asked. So you were supposed to calculate s electrons. One of the way to calculate s electron, that already I told you in the beginning, right? That already I told you in the beginning. Yes? If you want to write its electronic configuration as well, its atomic number is 35. So you have to fill some 35 electrons over here. Now, after filling these 35 electrons in these orbitals, what you'll be getting? These are 2 electrons in this one, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, and 6 to 8. So 8 s electrons are there in case of what? In case of bromine. 8 s electrons in total. Again, a very simple question. Right? Again, a very simple question. Similar sort of question which is asked. All right. Was this the question asked? Look at this one. Alpha particle, proton, and electron. So you have got alpha particle, you have got proton, and you have got electron, right? They have got same kinetic energy. As per the question, their kinetic energy is same. And what are we supposed to calculate? Select the correct order of de Broglie's wavelength. If you remember de Broglie's wavelength, that's lambda is equal to h upon p. Lambda is equal to h upon p. One more relation I'm sure you would have studied. Kinetic energy is equal to p square divided by 2m. This is something which every one of you will be knowing. So I would say p is equal to under root of 2m multiplied by kinetic energy. So instead of p over here, I will be writing h upon under root of 2m multiplied by kinetic energy. Perfect. Now the question says, these 3 particles, they have got same kinetic energy. If they have got same kinetic energy, then I must say lambda will be inversely proportional to what? Will be inversely proportional to square root of mass, right? So more the mass, less the value of lambda. More the mass, less the value of lambda. So which particle has got maximum mass? Alpha particle has got maximum mass. So alpha particle will have least de Broglie's wavelength, right? Followed by what? Followed by proton, followed by electron. So this would have been the order. This would have been the order. Check it out. So electron will be having maximum, followed by proton, followed by alpha particle. So it should have been option B, which is going to be the correct answer of this particular question as well. Yes? All right, people. So looking at one more question. All right, one question was asked from the physics option. Physics option, surface chemistry, right? The question was characteristics of physics option. What are the general characteristics of physics option? The first option says it's highly specific. Physics option is not highly specific, right? That's chemistry option which is highly specific. Number 1. Always forms a monolayer. In case of physics option, if you remember, multi-layers are formed. Multi-layers are formed, right? High enthalpy of adsorption. High enthalpy of adsorption is for what? That's for chemistry option, right? Zero activation energy. Absolutely. Physics option, it occurs very rapidly basically, right? So its activation energy is negligible, it's 0. Yeah? So option C would have been the correct answer of this particular question as well. Yes? Alright, one more question. One more question was asked. These drugs, you were supposed to match them directly NCERT based question, right? I'll show you exactly from where. These are the paragraphs from where the questions were taken. Perfect. So basically, my dear students, this salvarsan, it is basically your antibiotic. It is basically your antibiotic, right? Perfect. This northindron, it is basically the drug for anti-fertility, right? This celdane, it is the antihistamine, right? And this meprobromate, this is the tranquilizer. Perfect. So that's how you were supposed to join them, and expect these sort of questions again in the upcoming shifts. Expect these sort of questions again in the upcoming shifts, people, right? Expect these sort of questions. All right, I'm moving on directly. See what kind of question was asked from environmental chemistry. Environmental chemistry, which statement is correct? Which statement is correct? And look at the options, people. You would laugh over the options, but this was the question asked, right? Perfect. Environmental chemistry question. Look at the last statement. The last statement says humans need air 15 times more than food. And the same statement is copy pasted from your NCERT. Check this particular statement. Check this particular statement. Do you know an average human being requires nearly 12 to 15 times more air than food? He's saying, do you know? Do you know now? Yeah? So it's a fact basically, right? An average human being, it requires nearly 12 to 15 times more air than food, right? So option D is the one which is correct among all these. Yes? Let me see a few more questions, guys. I think a lot of questions we solved. And as I told you, the chemistry paper was again easy in this shift also. Yeah? Okay. All right. There was one more question, this one. Did you find this question? This was comparatively difficult for the students basically, right? This was comparatively difficult for the students. Conductometric titration graph between benzoic acid and NaOH. Benzoic acid, that's a weak acid, and NaOH, it's a strong base. Perfect. Few graphs would have been given to you. And you were supposed to check the conductometric titration graph between benzoic acid and NaOH. Now, benzoic acid is a weak acid. NaOH is a strong base, you know, right? My dear students, if you talk about your H positive and OH negative, H positive, it has got abnormally high conductivity than all the other cations, right? The difference between the conductance, basically the difference between the conductance shown by H positive and all the other cations, the difference is more. Similarly, the difference between the conductance of OH negative and all the other anions, that is more, right? So I must say one thing, H positive, OH negative, they have got very high conductances as compared to the other cations and anions. Perfect. Now the question says, the conductometric graph between benzoic acid and NaOH. If I talk about benzoic acid, it's a weak acid. Benzoic acid is a weak acid, right? If it is a weak acid, it is partially dissociated. So I must say, since it's a weak acid, only small amount of H positive would have been there. Initially, there'll be small amount of H positive. Small amount of H positive will be there, right? Since it's a weak acid, so it would have got partially dissociated, right? So small amount of H positives will be there. Now people, what we are adding exactly? We are adding NaOH. Since in the container basically you can say there is small amount of H positive, right? Due to this benzoic acid, because it's a weak acid, it is partially dissociated. Now what we are introducing? We are introducing NaOH. What this NaOH is going to do? The small amount of H positive which is there in the container, for example, you are adding NaOH into it. What is going to happen? Neutralization will happen. Due to the neutralization, what will happen? H positives will get decreased. H positives will decrease with time. So what will happen to the conductance? When you start adding NaOH, this NaOH is going to react with the small amount of H positive here. Perfect. So what is going to happen to the conductance? Conductance initially increases. It shows a dip. That's why the curve goes down first. Then people, what's going to happen? When NaOH continuously you're adding to benzoic acid, salt would have got formed, right? Salt would have got formed. Yes, salt would have got formed. So that salt would have got dissociated, so ion formation would have taken place. Due to the ion formation, the conductance would have increased. So the conductance from here is increasing. It's increasing. This is the equivalence point. At which all the acid in the container would have been neutralized. Now after that, after this point, if you are adding NaOH, there are basically now OH negatives getting into the container because all the acid is neutralized. Now you are adding OH negative after this. You are adding NaOH. You are adding OH negatives. So now it shows abrupt increase in the value of conductance, right? So this is the graph between conductance and the volume of NaOH, right? This is the conductometric titration graph between benzoic acid and NaOH. This was a typical question basically. I don't think majority of the students would have solved this question. Only few percentage, I would say only 1% students maybe would have solved this particular question. Yeah? So people, these were the chemistry questions. These were some around 19 to 20 chemistry questions which we solved. Just have a look one by one, exactly what are the respective answers. The first question was from pH, salt hydrolysis. The second question was from the thermodynamics part. One question was from this conductometric titration. One more question was there from the number of s electrons. One more question was from the ebb block lanthanides. The question one more was from bond order and the number of unpaired electrons in the molecular orbitals, right? The maximum oxidation state, this one is also done. Something was asked about the crystal field, right? Crystal field theory, I exactly do not know. Yeah. One question was asked about the number of pi bonds in your Marshalls as an oleum, right? One more question was about the magnetic property hybridization of this particular complex. Okay, one more regarding the extraction of gold, one more regarding the s electrons again, one more related to de Broglie's wavelength, right? All right, there is one more question, guys. There is one more question. I forgot to show you this. There is one more question here. This is the substrate. Basically, you were supposed to guess the products. These two were not given, okay? You were supposed to guess the products. So the first one, have a look. Have a look at the reagent basically. Look at these two reagents. So basically, this particular reagent, in presence of B2H6, what happens? Hydroboration oxidation takes place, right? And once this hydroboration, due to this hydroboration oxidation, what's going to happen basically? Just remove this double bond, and at the end, what you have to do? You have to add OH as per what? As per anti-Markovnikov's rule, right? So break this double bond, instead of that, put OH, right? This is your OMDM reaction, which is what you call as oxymercuration demercuration reaction. So what you just have to do, so remove the double bond, put OH instead. So this was the product. So this was one more question, perfect, related to very common reactions, two common reactions. One is your OMDM, another one is your hydroboration oxidation. So I'm sure this one, majority of you would have solved properly. One more from physics options, one more about the drugs, one more regarding to environmental chemistry. Yes, people, that's it. Okay. So now you will have the, I think, physics or the maths paper discussion. Let me just confirm with Shreya sir, who is going next. Is he going next or Gautam sir will be going next? Let me check it out. Just a second. And guys, one more thing. Expect the similar sort of questions in the upcoming shifts as well. Shreya sir, done? Hello? आप जा रहे हो कि maths जा रहा है? Oh, okay, bro. Okay, I'm done, huh? What? All right. So, guys, Shreya sir is coming. So, Shreya sir will be coming up. He already solved some 6 to 7 questions. Now, he'll be coming with furthermore 15 to 16 questions for physics. And at the end, you'll have the maths discussion, right? So, people, one thing I would like to say, expect similar type of questions. Do not expect the same questions with the same values in the upcoming shifts. No. Expect the similar type of questions in the upcoming shift, right? Whatever patterns are given here, right? Do expect the similar pattern of the questions in the upcoming shifts as well. All right, the ones who are writing the exam tomorrow, wishing you all the luck, right? From the Vedantu JEE English family. Till then, and do let us know after your examination, right? How your examination go, right? I'm 100% sure you're absolutely going to kill it if you have followed this channel properly with honesty, right? If you have seen all the short sessions, all the formula revisions, everything. I'm 100% sure all these things we have discussed in the shorts itself, right? Perfect. Be it physics, be it chemistry, be it mathematics, right? All right, people. So take care. God bless you all. See you. Bye-bye. Shreya sir is joining in.
Hey Mario Warriors, I'm back over here. Let me know in the chat box if I'm audible and visible by putting up a yo in the chat box. So I know that yes, I am audible as well as visible. So how was chemistry discussion, guys? Put it up in the chat box. Let me know quickly. Let me also mainly open up our video so that I know I'm Yes, visible, seen, everything. Perfect. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And what is it I'm seeing, guys? Look at it. 540 odd people watching it live and 374 likes. It costs you something, kya? 10,000 rupees, 10 rupees. How much does it cost for one like button? And how much effort we are putting? Look at the number of teachers involved. What is it? Come on, lift this likes up. What are you guys doing? It's not like I'm going to gain something through these likes, but it is my motivation, guys. It is our appreciation for the effort that we guys are putting in for all of you. It's a big show that we are putting in front of all of you so that you guys benefit out of this, whether you are probably going to give the exam tomorrow or even later on, or maybe you are 11th kid, or maybe you had your shift just now and you want to know what is the correct answer. Make sure you do that right now. Lift this up and call your friends on the JEE English channel, because Shreya sir is live, Wasim sir just went live, and by the way, don't worry in case you're not able to see Wasim sir's or my previous discussion of physics, because YouTube takes some time to stitch. It takes some time to stitch, so after some time you will see all the videos together. So give it few hours, maybe by midnight everything will be fine. Everyone ready to start? Come on, let's make this go till 450. Yeah, come on, what is this? 481. Waiting for 19 more likes to make it go up by 13 more likes to 500. Come on, let's take this number of likes to 500, guys. I'm waiting for all of you. Show your love, show your support towards the JEE English channel. It's your channel. It's not my or Wasim sir's or Nababita ma'am's or Gautam sir channel. It is our channel. It is your channel. So you have to feel for that. There you go. There you go. That's awesome. Let's start with the discussion of the remaining questions. In case you're worried about the previous questions, I've discussed all these questions before, Wasim sir. So now I'm continuing with the second part of the discussion. Okay. So good number of questions are there over here. So let's have a look. What is this question? Say 1 gram of liquid vaporized at the pressure of this many pascals and increases by these many centimeter cube. 10% is used to do work. Then what is the increase in the internal energy? Okay, heat, work, internal energy. These three terms are involved in one single equation, that is the first law of thermodynamics. So I need to somehow find either heat or work. Most likely pressure is there, increase in volume is there. Most likely I can find out work easily, which is P into delta V. Yes or no? What is the pressure? 3 into 10 to the power 5. Increase in the volume 1200. Centimeter is 10 to the power minus 2. Cube of it is 10 to the power minus 6. Come on, do the math. 12 3s are 36, guys. 7 zeros and 6 zeros here, so cancels out and remains 1 0. So that is basically 360 joules. That is your work done. Just check this out. Now using the first law of thermodynamics, Q is basically delta U plus work done. Q is basically delta U plus work done. If it is mentioned 10% of the heat is used for work, 10% of the heat is used for work. Okay, so think about it. 10% of the heat supplied is used for doing the work. What is the increase in the internal energy? So what it means is that Q by 10 is basically W. Just check it out. 1/10 of the heat is used as work. Is that making sense? Rather, I can say Q is equal to 10W. Q is equal to 10W. Yes or no? So instead of Q, what you are going to put over here, 10 times of W is equal to delta U plus W. So basically 9W is equal to delta U. So just multiply this 9 times. Just check this out. 9 times, what is it going to be? 3240 joules. 3240 joules. Just multiply 9 into 360 is equal to delta U. See if you get option A. Very good, Goxer. Nice to see you back after a very long time. Awesome, nice. Awesomeness. Arjun, after the physics paper, you're going to have the maths discussion, okay? Maths sir is also collecting a lot of questions. You know, maths usually takes the longest time because the questions are very difficult to type and also very difficult to collect also. Generally, chemistry or physics most of the times is easy to collect and write and type and everything. So maths usually takes some time because of, you know, obvious reasons. Okay, let's go on. A mass is selected with spring as shown. L is natural length, extension in the spring is x, k is spring constant, omega is the angular velocity. Find x by L. So if you take a spring and rotate it like this, what will happen? The centrifugal force will pull it out, the spring will get extended. So visualize it this way. If your spring is pivoted here, it is rotating with angular speed omega, this is the mass being rotated. Obviously there is going to be a centrifugal force pulling it outwards and the spring force pulling it inside, and at equilibrium both these forces balance each other. So centrifugal force balances spring force. Centrifugal force is m omega square radius. Radius will be length plus extension. Be careful guys, this entire thing is the radius. This entire thing, L plus x. So basically L plus x is what is going to come here. Spring force is just kx. Be careful about it. Here it is L plus x, here it is x. Substitute all the values, substitute every single thing that you know over here. You are going to find the value of x, and from that you can find the value of x by L as well. Is that clear everyone? Is that clear everyone? Everything is given to you. Omega is given, mass is given, natural length is also I think given to be something. Find the value of x by L. That's all. It comes out to be 2 by 3. Just check this out if you are getting it. Everyone who got it, let me know by putting up a thumbs up in the chat box. And guys, think about other students. I know you have your own language to communicate, but you are on the national platform for all the students in English medium. So make sure that you converse so that others also understand and you make more friends. So don't be limited by a small group of people. I understand you have those emotions connecting all of you, but make sure that you connect with each and everyone so that everyone can enjoy, learn and probably communicate and make friends. Let's go on to the next one coming up on your screen. Great. So what do we have over here? In this question, voltmeter also has a resistance. There is 100 ohms. This is ideal battery. Find the reading of the voltmeter. Okay, so first thing first, if I convert this circuit into a simpler circuit, this will be 100 ohms. This is a battery over here, and this 100 and 400 will become, look at this, 400 into basically 100 divided by 400 plus 100, R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2. Reason being these both are actually in parallel. So this will become nothing but 400 into 100 divided by 500, 0 0 0 0 cancels. So this is going to be nothing but 80 ohms. So there is 80 ohms resistance over here. 80 ohms resistance over here. This is 9 volt. Now what is the total resistance? It is 180 ohm. So guys, we can easily find out how much current is flowing in the circuit. How much current is flowing in the circuit? We can easily find out. Current is the voltage by the total resistance. Voltage is 9. Resistance is nothing but 100 plus 80, which is 180. So essentially 9 goes with 18 2 times. Yes or no guys? 9 goes with 18 2 times. So what will this be? This will be 1 by 20. I hope this is clear. Everybody with me? Okay, so this is the value of current, but that is not what is asked. The question is, what is the voltmeter's reading? So whatever is the voltage over here, whatever is the voltage difference over here is also the voltage difference over here, because they are in parallel. In parallel, these voltages are same as across every branch. So this voltage is same as this voltage is same as this voltage, which is also basically the reading which is shown, which is the reading measured by the voltmeter. So that's all you need to do. So delta V is equal to IR. Current is nothing but 1 by 20. Resistance is nothing but 80. So this is going to be 4 volts. That is the answer. 4 volts. Very good, Lakshmi Goxdar. So many of you have got the answer. Perfect, Ayush. Perfecto. I'm seeing all of you who are answering it correctly. Very good, Chanakya Vaishnavi. Very good, G Sathwik. Excelente. Excelente. Very good. Very good. Very good. Awesome. Okay, loving these questions. So these kind of questions are pretty much standard on voltmeter. Moving on to another question coming up on your screen. The distance between sun and earth is this much. The distance between the planet from the sun whose time period of revolution is this much is how much? Complete question is based on which law? Which law do you think this question is based on? Think about it. Gravitation chapter, Kepler's law. Which law of Kepler? Third law, the law of time periods. That's all. So the law of time period says that the square of the time is directly proportional to the cube of the distance. Is that so? Okay. Now the distance is this much. Distance will be how much so that the time period is 2.83 years as compared to that of Earth. So here is what I will write. T2 by T1 whole raised to 2 is basically R2 by R1 whole cube. Is that so? Everyone with me? Okay. So now the time period, like you can see over here, is 2.83 years for some planet. So T2 is basically 2.83. For Earth going around the sun, it is 1 year. This is 2.83 years. For Earth, it is basically 1 year. So this whole square is equal to R2 by R1. R2, I do not know. R1 is given to me. The distance of the sun and Earth, how much is it for 1 year? How much does Earth, what is the radius of the Earth's orbit? It is basically 1.5 into 10 to the power 8 whole cube. Now, what is 2.8's whole square, guys? Come on, put it up in the chat box. Come on, guys. Mithun, Manisha, please concentrate over here. Priya, Venu, don't type in random languages right now. Type over here in English. Concentrate on the class, or else the admin will block you. I mean, come on, please maintain that level of decorum and discipline. Don't be so cheap and talk like this. Yep. Okay. So guys, what is it going to be? 2.83 whole square. It's roughly going to be 8. So this will be nothing but R2 divided by 1.5 into 10 to the power 8 whole cube. So when you take cube root on both sides, this will become 2 and this will become R2 by 1.5 into 10 to the power 8. Now shift it over there. So R2 will be 2 into 1.5 into 10 to the power 8. So this will be 3 into 10 to the power 8 kilometers. Is that so? Yes or no? Perfect. Option B. Great. Awesome, guys. So all of you are coming back to the discussion. I am so proud of you. Keep it up. Great. Let's move on to another question. And if you are getting these answers correct, very good. And if you are from some other shift, you should feel good that okay, these kind of questions are coming directly from laws or formulas or concepts. Okay, this is direct statement based questions, and like I told in the first shift also, physics has a lot of assertion reason questions. That's what we have been seeing, okay, in the first shift also, second shift. So expect same thing to happen in the later on shifts as well. Acceleration due to gravity decreases if you go up or go down. I think it is correct. If you remember correctly, the acceleration due to gravity versus distance from the center goes like this. The graph goes like this, guys. If you remember it correctly, it goes up linearly and decreases non-linearly, and it is the maximum at the radius. So it decreases whether you go up. So this is with height and this is basically with depth. So either ways it decreases. But is it the same at the same depth and same height? No. This is linear. This is non-linear. How can the decrease be same either ways? So that will be wrong. Yes, option A. First statement is obviously correct. This is wrong. It is going to be different. This same word is wrong, guys. This same word is wrong. It is going to be different. Okay. I hope this makes sense, because one is linear, one is non-linear. Obviously, their variations will also be different. Okay. You cannot have same thing happening on both sides. Next question coming up on your screen. Yes, Sanjay, the answer is A. Super duper. Very good, Aishwarya. Awesome, Sanjay. Awesome, Mithun. What about this? This question I told you in my sure shot session. Remember, if you have attended now, you know this. This question I told you, but not for maybe electron, but I told you proton and alpha particle. We solved a question in the class just 2-3 days back. If you have attended that, this is very easy. Question is, if they are accelerated with the same potential difference, what is the correct order of de Broglie wavelength? See, if you got the order as lambda alpha is the least, then proton, then electron. How do you do this kind of a question? Is basically, what is it? It's accelerated, compare the de Broglie wavelength. Lambda is h by momentum. Momentum is nothing but root of 2 times mass times kinetic energy. Now kinetic energy is nothing but charge into the voltage difference. Now if you notice carefully, you will notice that H is a constant, 2 is a constant, mass is different, charge is different, voltage difference is the same through the same potential difference. So you can see lambda is basically inversely proportional to root of m and also inversely proportional to root of the charge. Now you can just make some table, like what is the mass, what is the charge, and from that you will immediately understand. Mass for, let's say example, electron is very less, correct? Charge is basically E, magnitude wise. Charge is basically E, okay? Then for proton, let's say the mass is m, okay? Let's say the mass is 1 AMU or m, then for the charge of it is just E. Then if you talk about alpha particle, it is 4 times the atomic mass unit, because 2 protons, 2 neutrons makes it 4. The charge is basically 2e. Now just calculate the value of mq, root of mq. This is going to be very, very less. This is going to be root of me. This is going to be root of 8me. Don't you see this is highest? Smallest. Okay, this is the largest. So inverse of that, which is basically lambda, because it is inversely related to that. Hence lambda, if you compare, this will be highest, then this will be medium, for a proton, and then for basically what is it, alpha particle, that will be basically the lowest value. Is that making sense? Excellente. Did you understand what is the logic for solving the question? I understood the relationship. I saw who is proportional or inversely proportional to whom. I just made a mental picture, or just on the rough sheet I will draw this table: masses, charges, root of mq. Because it is inversely proportional to root of mq, one which has more root mq will have less wavelength. As simple as that. Okay, moving on to another question coming up on your screen. I'll be doing that, Lokesh, but after the session is over. Same question in chemistry also. Okay, I'm not sure whether this was a chemistry question or physics question. Okay, let's see what is this. Right angle triangle current, edge length shown, magnetic field in the plane, the magnetic force on the wire AB. So question is this: on this particular wire whose length is 5 centimeters, current is 2 amperes, magnetic field you can see it is in this direction. Okay, so I think I will also need this angle, or basically, you know, the angle between magnetic field and the length, that will be needed. I'll tell you why. Because when you calculate the force, it is IL cross B. So it is basically, okay, it is basically nothing but ILB sine theta. So force is basically current, which is 2 amperes, length which is 5 by 100 meters, magnetic field which is 0.75, which is 3 by 4. 0.75 is basically 3 by 4 Tesla, and into sine theta. Okay, now sine theta is opposite by hypotenuse. So basically opposite by hypotenuse over here. Just check this out if this is correct. Okay, M. Lakshmi saying option D, 9 by 130. Looks like it. It should be 9 by 30. Just check it out. Cancel out few things over here. You will see like 4 cancels with 12, 3 times 3 3s are 9 over there. This 5 also goes with 100, 20 times. So you can see that 2 and 2 will also get cancelled. So just check if you are getting 9 by 130. Yes, you should get it as 9 by 130. Everyone with me? Understood? Clear? Sir, Ekalavya batch is closed. No, it is still open, but I think there will be an entry point after the JEE Mains results are out. So you'll have to wait for that. Right now, the original entry point is closed, where there was an entry test, and from that you could get into Ekalavya batch. So that is closed. So that's why I was screaming and telling you, join. If you miss that opportunity, now you have to wait till probably first or second week of February when the first attempt results will be out. What about this? Steel is used to build big structures. Steel has more elastic modulus as compared to other materials. Okay, do you think steel is used to build big structures? Of course, all the buildings around you are made using steel, concrete, cement, right? And why is it so? Because steel has more elastic modulus as compared to other materials. So even when you apply large force, it hardly deforms. So it has very good modulus of rigidity. Hence, both options are correct, and it is the correct reasoning also. Yes, the full video will be available, Ifran, but after some time, not right now. Okay, it takes some time for the YouTube to process the video at the back end. So hold on for some time. Next question coming up on your screen. Okay, 30th paper, toughness, will it change? No, Sanjit Krishna, it will not change. So here is the logic. Find the ratio of the displacement and distance. All you need to do is find the area, because area under velocity time, keep this in mind, area of velocity time gives you basically the displacement done. Now if you notice, this is positive area, this is positive area. Now check how much is the height, 8, base 2, so 8 into 2 is basically 16. Check this one also, check this one also. Height 4, base also 4, so 4 into 4 is again 16. Everyone with me? Okay. Next up, over here, negative areas, these are below. So how much is the height? 4, base is 2, so 4 into 2 with a negative sign, so it is going to be minus 8. Perfect. Okay, over here, just check this out. Okay, just check this out. Okay, how much negative value will you get of area? Height is 4 again, base is 2. So 4 into 2, which is again going to be minus 8. Now if somebody asks you what is the displacement, if somebody asks you what is the displacement, your answer will be 16 plus 16 minus 8 minus 8. So 16 minus 8, 8, 16 minus 8, 8, 8 plus 8, 16. So basically displacement is 16 meters. Everybody with me? On this? Perfect. What about the distance? In distance, don't take the negative values. Even if it goes back or goes front, you should count it in the distance. So hence the answer will be 16 plus 8 plus 16 plus 8. No negative signs there. So 16 plus 16, 32, plus 8 plus 8 plus 16. So 32 plus 16 is 48, right? Everybody with me on this? So what is the question? Find the ratio of the displacement and distance. So final answer, S by D will be 16 by 48, which is 1/3. 1/3. Many of you are putting the answer C for what? Cat. C for what? Sir, I am a SASI student. What do you mean by SASI? Anusha Ganenan. What do you mean? Is that some institute or is it some word? Thank you, Aishwarya, for putting it. Captain Shreyas. C for cat. No. C for Captain Shreyas. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. C for kangaroo. Who is that? Gautam. Very good. And C for kettle also. And C for king. Hai na? Very good. Awesome, awesome. Let's do the next question coming up on your screen. Here it is. Find the wavelength. Find the wavelength over here for this particular transition. For this particular transition, what is the transition from 4 to 1 for a hydrogen atom? The formula that you need to use is 1 by lambda is Rydberg's constant Z square 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. That's the formula. Rydberg's constant 1.097 into 10 to the power 7 hydrogen, so it is 1, and then 1 by N1. What is N1? It is 1 square, and then N2 is basically 4. Just do the math and then finally find lambda value. Just find the lambda value. It is just the same standard procedure, direct formula based application. So 97.4 nanometer. So 97.4 into 10 to the power minus 9 meters is what you should get after solving this. Remember, this is 1 by lambda, so you have to flip it also. Easy, no? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Perfect, perfect. The toughness of upcoming shifts will be exactly similar as this one. They generally do not change the difficulty. If I have analyzed all the previous year papers, they don't go like, oh, this is super easy shift and then suddenly it becomes difficult. No, they keep similar pattern because or else it will be unfair on other students. Okay, perfecto. CH Jayan is going to file a petition, guys. Please remember his name and contact CH Jayan because he is going to file a petition if the next paper is not going to be this easy. That means people are jealous. Sir, is this live available on morning time? Yes, Anusha, this is going to be available in the morning time as well, definitely. What about this question? Find the current in the steady state for this circuit. Guys, inductors are useless. Inductors behave just like a wire at steady state. At a steady state, yes or no? They just behave like wires at steady state. Perfecto. So what is this circuit reducing to exactly? Forget the inductors because it's a wire. So you basically have three resistors in parallel connected to a battery. So 12, 12, 12. What is the equivalent resistance of the circuit, my dear students? This is nothing but 12 volts. Okay, 12 ohms, 12 ohms, 12 ohms. What will the answer be? 12 by 3, no? So this will be 12 by 3 ohms, which is basically 4 ohms. This is basically 4 ohms. Now the question is to find the value of the current. Current will be voltage by resistance. Voltage is 12, resistance is 4, answer is 3 ampere. This kind of question can even come for, 10th standard student. If you forget the inductor, it is like a 10th standard level question, guys. Honestly, I'm telling you. Yes or no? Forget the inductor part. Just look at this. This to this to this is very, very elementary level. Steady state. What is the meaning of steady state? That means what is the meaning of steady state? See, guys, the current versus time graph goes like this. So when it becomes constant, that is basically called as the steady state. So current is no longer growing in RL circuits, RC circuits. Okay, the growth or the decay stabilizes. No more further changes. And it happens after a very long time. Okay, thank you, Lokesh Naidu. And north or south, what is the east or west? Captain Shreyas sir is the west. North and south? North and south? Warriors are the best. Yeah, come on, yaar. Such a bad joke I cracked. You should be able to expect, no? Expect, yeah, such nice bad jokes that I cracked for all of you. Why did they give the conductor? Why did they give the conductor? I mean, sorry, inductor. It's not conductor, it's inductor. Just to fool you, just to confuse you, just to scare you. What will happen? Kids will get scared. Oh my God, 3 inductors, 3 resistors. Sir, I don't know how to solve inductor with the resistor circuit, sir. Arey man, if you know this statement, now you will forget the inductor. It's just to confuse people. Okay? Great. Acha, chalo. Let's go on to the next question coming up on your screen. What is this question? For an isothermal process, T1 more than T2 more than T3. Okay. So, beautiful question. Here is what I can do. This is your pressure, this is your volume, and we all know an isotherm is always like this. Isotherm is always like this. Okay? Pressure versus volume, because pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Now, important thing, the isotherm shifts here if the temperature increases. Whereas if the temperature decreases, then it shifts over here. Temperature basically decreases. That's a standard thing. I've given this to you in the theory parts also. So where is it? T1 is more. This is wrong, guys. I mean, like, look at this. This is definitely wrong. How can it be straight lines? Either this or this. But yeah, T1 is the highest. So obviously C for Captain Shreyas again. What is isothermal? Krishna Vlogs? Very good. Excellent question. This is the best question for today. Isothermal means temperature is constant, bacha. Temperature is constant. So PV is equal to nRT, temperature is constant, PV is constant, P is inversely proportional to V. Oh, this is like one competition. Hero, Honda, Splendor, Shreyas sir is Thunder. Oh my God, this is such an amazing message. I mean, you guys can now start a competition. Who will give the best captions and dialogues. I mean, I hope some script writer or some Bollywood or some Tollywood or some movie director or script writer is seeing this, and probably we can have some nice students, talented students into the film industry for writing such an amazing dialogue. Okay, so these are the questions that I had. I have solved almost more than 20 questions, let me tell you. So which is a good number. Remaining questions we could not gather, but as I gather, if I find it, I'll put it in the PDF. Now you're going to have maths sir coming up on the screen. So come on guys, raise the voice, raise the Josh to the highest level, because maths sir is going to come, or maybe Wazim sir is going to come. Let me just figure it out. Give me a bit. And meanwhile, what is this? 610 people watching. Raise this up. Hello sir. Sir, you are ready? Okay, okay, I'm ending the stream. Okay. So Gautam sir is going to come. Come on, raise the enthu of the class. Maths discussion starting right away. And let's take these likes to 1000. Come on, at least you can do that. You are true JEE English students. Show your love and support, okay? I'll be watching. Bye-bye. Have a great time. Enjoy your maths discussion.
Hello guys, how are you? Hello everyone. Okay, perfect. So very good evening guys, very good evening. So let's start the math section. So how was the math paper? Anyone here who has given the examination? Shifted to math examination, I mean the JEE main examination, and how was your math section in that? Hello guys, hello everyone. Okay. Now let me tell you guys what I felt, when I compared with shift 1 and shift 2. Well, it was almost the same. Comparatively, I felt shift 2 was a bit harder when you compare with the shift 1 paper. In shift 1, we had questions where all you had to do is directly apply the formula. Okay, directly apply the formula, you're going to get the answer. We had like 2-3 questions. But in shift 2, well, that type of questions were very few, maybe 1 or 2. And the rest of the questions, it required little bit modification. So in that way, I would say shift 2 paper was comparatively on the harder side when you compare with the shift 1. But I guess we need not to worry about it, right? Because anyway, it's percentile, it's all relative marking. So definitely, in shift 1, since the paper was bit easy, okay, the marks are going to be more. But anyway, guys, it's percentile, right? Relative marking. So I guess it doesn't really matter. So hello everyone. Sir, the exam was moderate, sir. Perfect. Okay, so let us start doing the questions, everyone. Okay, so let me just show that, we have some bunch of questions I've taken from the students. And this is the first question for you. Now, this one is a pretty easy question, guys. I would rate this question as a pretty simple, easy question. All you have to do is, see, just look at the integral given for you. Only one formula that should come to your mind. What is that formula? Integration dx by under root of a square minus x square. What is the result of this going to become? Sine inverse x by a plus c. This one, right? Apply the same logic, apply the same formula in this particular case. So if you do so, you see what am I going to get in this particular case, guys. So let us write it down. So it's going to be integration 3 root 2 whole divided by 4. And this is 3 root 3 whole divided by 4. Let's take this 48 outside. It's a constant, no use of it inside the integral. So let me just take it outside the integral. Okay, and then you have dx in the numerator. In the denominator, you have under root of 9 minus 4x square. So let me do one thing. Let me take 4 as a common. No. So in that way, you would get 2 outside. And in this case, inside the square root, you would end up getting 3 by 2 whole square minus of x square. So this is exactly in this particular form. All you have to do is simply apply the formula, then apply the limits and see what you are going to get. So guys, that is the trivial calculation part. So the answer which you have to get in this case is simply going to be 2 into pi. Got the answer as 2 pi? Everyone, it's not 4 pi. It should be 2 into pi. The right answer for this question is going to be 2 into pi, everyone. Is it 4 pi or 2 pi? I think I got the answer as 2 pi when I've calculated this. Please check it, guys. Yeah, it's going to be 2 pi. Yes, perfect. Very good. So it was a pretty simple question, right? And let me tell you guys, in the first shift also, from definite integration, similar type of question was asked. A very simple question where all we had to do is use the property which is f of x is equal to f of a minus x. That was pretty simple, damn simple question. And again, you had a simple question. So if you see the pattern, if you see the type of questions, well, maybe tomorrow or this week, all the students who are going to write the exam this week, you can expect a question from definite integration, and maybe it might be a simple question. So definitely go through the basics, guys. Brush up your skills, brush up your basics of this chapter of definite integration. We can expect such type of question in the coming sessions, everyone. Okay, fine. Now let me go to another question for you. Now you see this question. The area bounded by this particular parabola and this line is A, we need to find out 6 into A. And let me tell you guys, the right answer for this question is going to be 125. How many of you have got the right answer? 125 is going to be the right answer. And again, in shift 1, there was a question on areas. Okay, so it was, the parabola was given, a straight line was given. The same thing is repeated. Same thing. A parabola is given to you. This particular line is given to you. Now this is pretty simple stuff, right? So you can clearly see y square minus 4y is equal to minus x. Correct? So let me do one thing, guys. Let me just add 4 on both the sides so that I would get this as y minus 2 whole square. Correct? Minus of x minus 4. So this is a parabola with the vertex. So let me just draw the y and x axis. This is a parabola with the vertex at 2, 4. Correct? So let us say that the vertex is going to be somewhere here, which is going to be 4, 2. The vertex is going to be 4, 2, and if you draw the parabola is going to basically be in this way. It's going to be like this. Correct? Okay, perfect. And now try to understand this, everyone. That the line is given for you, which is x plus y is equal to 0. Now that is a pretty simple line, a line which is passing through the origin. So this is how the line is going to look like. So let me just draw it in this way, such that it passes through the origin, right? So this is going to be your line. And you can clearly see, guys, this is the area he is basically asking in the question. You need to basically figure out this particular area, right? Now, how do you do this one? With respect to dy, are you going to take your integral with respect to dy or with respect to dx? Guys, in the first shift also, a similar type of question was asked, and I would go with the dy, which is very easy, very less time taking. For that, all you have to do is figure out what is this y coordinate going to be and what is this y coordinate going to be. How do you get to know that? What are these two y coordinates? Very simple. Solve these two equations, this equation and this equation. That is, you are going to get y square minus 4y is equal to minus x, which is simply nothing but y. So from this, you would end up getting the values of y, correct? And from this values of y, you can basically get the integral. So basically, you can clearly see is, guys, y square minus 4y is minus x. And from here, y is simply minus x. So it's going to be y here. I'll get y square minus 5y is equal to 0. So what does that basically mean? The value of y here is simply going to become 0 or it is going to be 5. Okay, the value of y is going to be 0 or 5. So I guess I need to redraw the diagram once again, or else it's not required maybe. It's not required. Is it required, guys? I think it's not required. I mean, the parabola should be passing through the origin. I completely agree. So let me do one thing. Let me just draw this parabola once again such that this parabola is passing through the origin like this. So this is how the parabola is going to look like. Okay, fine. So this is my parabola. Okay, so I know that, okay, this is my 0, the coordinate of y, and here it's going to intersect, for which the coordinate of y is going to be 5. Is this clear for everyone? Now all you have to do is find the area. And how do you find that area, guys? Well, the area is going to be given by integration 0 to 5. Correct? 0 to 5. The parabola minus the straight line. Now what is the parabola equation in terms of y? It's y square minus 4y minus, okay, minus of, again you have the straight line which is basically minus y, and this entire thing you need to integrate it with respect to dy. Okay, so this is what you are going to get, everyone, and from this just integrate this, man. This is a pretty simple integral. Just solve this, and when you solve it, when you apply the limits, the result which you're gonna get is simply going to be 125. So got the answer, everyone? Did anyone get anything wrong in this question? It was a pretty simple question, right? I don't think there is anything complicated here. So in the shift 1 also, a similar type of question was asked. In fact, the parabola was like this. you know, we had a straight line, we had to take the integral in terms of dy to get the area. Okay, a similar type of question was also asked. I mean, you can clearly see it's also being asked in the shift number 2. So you can expect a question, you know, in the rest of the sessions. You can expect a question from areas. Maybe not exactly this type of question, but he might play around. Maybe he might take a circle and a parabola, or maybe a circle and a straight line. Okay, he might play around with this, you know, conics which we have. But yeah, we can definitely expect a question, guys. Okay, perfect. So now let me go to another question. So question number 2, again I'm repeating it. The answer for this should be 125. I hope you got the right answer. Again, I would rate this question, well, not very easy. Okay, somewhere between moderate. Okay, somewhere between above easy to moderate level question. I think you should be able to draw the diagram. Okay, and then you should be able to write down this integral. So it's a moderate level question. I guess the student who has prepared very well, who has done some good practice in areas, will comfortably solve this question without any trouble. Right? Okay, fine. Now let me go to another question for you guys. Now you see this particular question. Now this question right here, well, this might look little bit complicated, but if you guys have done the complex numbers, okay, and in complex numbers, if you have done this type of questions where you see 1 plus sine 2 pi by 9 plus I cos 2 pi by 9, let me tell you guys, this question could have been very simple if we had cos here and sine here. Yes or no? Agreed. If you had cos at this position and sine at this position, then man, there is nothing to worry about. It's a pretty simple, straightforward question. We could have directly simplified it and got the answer. The problem is, okay, we have a sine here and we have a cos here. Okay, so what's the issue then? Let's convert this. Let's basically modify this. Let's convert this sine to cos. And for that, all you have to do is, guys, we do know what is pi by 2 minus of 2 pi divided by 9. How much is this going to be? Well, the new denominator is going to become 18. Okay, and this is going to become 18 pi. Perfect. Minus of, and this is going to become 4 pi. Okay, so this is what I'm going to get here. Correct? So basically, guys, 5 by 2 minus 2 pi by 9, 18, 9 pi and 4 pi. Sorry, this is 9 pi. I don't know why I have written 18 pi here. Yeah, this is 9 pi. Agreed. This is going to be 9 pi. So I'm going to get 5 pi by 18. Okay. So in this way, what I can do is, I can basically write this in terms of sine and cos. That is, I can change this sine to cos and this cos to sine. So what am I going to get in this case? 1 plus, instead of writing this in terms of sine, I'll write this in terms of cos, and if you do so, it will be cos of 5 pi by 18. Agreed, everyone? Okay. Plus I times of, in place of cos, I need this in terms of sine. So it's going to be sine of 5 pi by 18. Okay. Whole divided by, and what is this one going to be? Again, 1 plus cos of 5 pi by 18. And this one is going to be minus of I times of sine 5 pi by 18, and that's it. The question is done. That's it. If you're able to just do this slight modification, I don't think anything is complicated from here. Guys, it's pretty simple. Whenever I see 1 plus cos theta, you see, whenever I look at 1 plus cos theta, only one thing should come to your mind. In fact, only one thing will come to my mind, which is 2 cos square theta by 2 formula. Just apply that formula, guys. So what am I going to get here? So let me just write that down for you. So 1 plus cos theta is 2 cos square theta by 2. So 2 cos square 5 pi by 36. Agreed. Plus I times of. Now this is sine theta, which can also be written as 2 sine theta by 2 cos theta by 2. Trigonometry. So what am I going to get in this case? Sine 5 pi by 18 is 2 sine 5 pi by 36 into cos 5 pi by 36. Pretty simple stuff, pretty basic stuff. Repeat the same thing in the denominator. So this is going to become 2 cos square 5 pi by 36. You have a minus sign here. Okay, and this is again going to be same 2 sine 5 pi by 36 into cos 5 pi by 36. I hope this is clear for everyone. Now it's pretty simple, right? You can clearly observe this, guys. 2 is going to get cancelled away. Perfect. I think there is one cos which is common in the numerator and denominator. Let's cancel it, man. So let's just cancel this cos, and here one cos will be remaining. So what is exactly remaining in the question now? What is exactly remaining here? In the numerator, cos of 5 pi by 36 plus I sine 5 pi by 36. This is what is remaining in the numerator. And in the denominator, you have cos 5 pi by 36 minus of I sine 5 pi by 36. And let me tell you guys, this is simple, this is basic, you should be knowing this already. I think most of the students already know this, right? So what is going to be this one? Cos theta plus I sine theta. What is cos theta plus I sine theta? The Euler form, basic complex numbers. It's going to be e raised to I theta. Agreed, everyone? So apply the same logic in this case. So let us see what I'm going to get in this case. So in the numerator, you get e raised to I 5 pi by 36. And in the denominator, it's going to be e raised to minus of I 5 pi by 36. Okay, now just simplify this, dude. Just simplify. And also, guys, we have a cube. Okay, I've not taken the cube in each and every step, but it's given whole and this is cube is given. So let me apply the cube in the last step. Okay, so let us see what I'm going to get in this case, guys. So I'm going to get basically e raised to, it's going to be 10 pi, right? I into 10 pi divided by 36, which is e raised to I 5 pi by 18, correct? 5 pi by 18. Now let me take the cube of this one, guys. So this result, whatever I got, e raised to I 5 pi by 18. Now let me take the cube of this one. So what is that going to be? 3 ones, 3 6 are. So I'm going to get e raised to I 5 pi by 6. And what is the result of this going to be? Cos 5 pi by 6 plus I sine 5 pi by 6. This is what I'm going to get. Now what is cos 5 by 6, man? What is cos 5 by 6? It is minus root 3 by 2 plus I times of 1 by 2. And this is going to be your answer. Everyone got the right answer? Minus root 3 by 2 plus I times of 1 by root 2. This is going to be the right answer for this question. Perfect, 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 everyone. So again, I would definitely not rate this as a moderate level question. It was an above, average question. Not definitely hard question, because if you guys have done, this type of questions on Euler form, where there was 1 plus cos theta plus I sine theta of this particular form, then definitely, guys, all you have to do here is do the slight modification. It is sine here and cos here. But the required, whatever the required, the form is there, we wanted cos here, right? We wanted cos here and we wanted sine here. And accordingly, we have done that. Accordingly, by applying this very simple logic, we got to know, okay, this sine, if you want to write this sine in terms of cos, this is how you write it down. And this cos, if you write it in terms of sine, this is how you write it down. And after that, you just have to go with the general modification. 1 plus cos theta formula, sine theta formula, 2 cos square theta by 2, I sine theta by 2, cos theta by 2. You got the answer. So is this anyone is having any doubt in this question, guys? Anyone is having any doubt in this question? So in which way you see shift to paper moderate to difficult? Yes, not very difficult. As far as questions, I got the questions. See, the thing is that, the good thing is that, if you compare with the previous year papers, the paper were lengthy, man. The math paper was lengthy, okay? And let us say students were preparing very well also, who were very serious, pretty damn serious also. Let us say doable questions were around 7 to 8, not more than that. If you see last year or last to last year, the doable questions were somewhere around 7 to 8 and other questions were a little bit difficult, okay? But if you see the shift to 1 and shift to paper, if you see the number of doable questions, they will be around 12 to 13, if not 14 also. 12 to 14 questions are doable questions for you. That is, if you are prepared well, then definitely you are not going to fumble in those questions. Okay, that is what I felt. So I guess, this time the marks might increase, so accordingly the percentile might be decided. Okay, but yes, not a very easy paper. I cannot say it's very easy, it was damn easy. No, not that way. It's a moderate level question. Okay, moderate level question paper. Okay, fine, perfect. Now let me just go to another question, guys. Now you see this question, sequence and series, the series wala question. If you remember, I told you this, guys, in the sure shot, in the prediction series, in the prediction session, I told you that you would definitely, there are high chances that from sequence and series, you might be getting a question from the concept of special series. And you see, we got a question. Okay, now this is a pretty basic, pretty easy peasy question, guys. You see the numerator, you already know the result of this. What is that? N square into n plus 1 whole square divided by 4, the sum of the cube of first and natural numbers. So this is pretty simple. Now what about the denominator, students? How do you find out the sum of the denominator? Well, for that, just find out the nth term. What is going to be the nth term? You see, 1, 2, 3, so on till n. So I can say for this 1, 2, 3 series, the general term, the nth term is going to be n. And for this one, 3, 5, 7, so on, what is the nth term going to be? 2n plus 1, 2n plus 1. So I'm going to get simply 2n square plus n, and that is Tn. How do you find out Sn when we have nth term? Well, perfect, correct. So Sn is going to be summation Tn. So if you find the summation of this, I'll get 2 times of summation n square plus summation n. Now all you have to do is again use that formulas of special series, man. Now what is that? Sum of first and natural numbers, that is summation n into n plus 1 by 2, n into n plus 1 by 2, plus, and what is this one going to be? 2 into, what is summation n square going to be? That is the sum of the square of first and natural numbers. It is n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1. So just a minute, let me do one thing. Let me just write it here so that everything will be clearly visible for you. So let me write it here. Okay, Sn is going to be n into n plus 1 by 2 plus 2 times of n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 whole divided by 6. This is what you're gonna get, right? So do the simplification and put this value in the denominator. And this value, according to the question, is 9 by 5. Now from here, all you have to do is just simplify. You would get an equation in terms of n, and that, if you solve, the value of n which you have to get is 25. So got the right answer for this question, everyone? The right answer for this particular question is going to be 25. The right answer for this question is going to be 25. A simple question, guys. Again, if you know the special series concepts, what is going to be the numerator? This 1 cube plus 2 cube plus 3 cube, that is pretty basic. You should already know it. And if you see the denominator, this is again not a very complicated series. Pretty basic stuff. All you have to do is first find out the nth term. Once you get to know what is nth term, find out Sn, which is summation Tn, right? And from this is going to be the answer. So I hope this is clear for everyone out there. I can see a lot of Telugu people in the chat section. So hello guys, hello my brothers. And guys, we also have the Vedantu Telugu channel, okay, where everything is taught in Telugu for JEE examination, board examination, intermediate, as well as for your MSET. So guys, if you want specific preparation for intermediate as well as the MSET and JEE, and that too in Telugu, you can just search the channel Vedantu Telugu and you can go there. Okay, check out the videos. Lot of content is available there. So check out the videos and do subscribe to it. Okay, fine. So I hope this is clear for everyone out there. Chalo guys, chalo. I hope this is clear for everyone. Okay, now let me go to another question. Now you see this question, guys. So I was thinking statistics question was missing in the first shift. I was not pretty sure. I got around 19 to 20 questions and I could not find out any statistics question from that. And students were asking me, sir, you said statistics question would definitely come. Not the students who have written the exam, the other shift students, other date students, like the students who have their examination on 25th or let us say 31st or other dates. They were asking me, sir, where is the statistics question? Where is the statistics question? And here in shift 2, you have a statistics question. Okay, so statistics definitely a very important chapter. The question from this chapter is definitely going to be asked. The chances are pretty high. And this question again is a pretty basic level question, guys. Again, nothing complicated. Here, if you observe, what I can tell you, observations are not given for you. That is one thing. If you see, 6 numbers are in AP. Their mean is 19 by 2. Okay, so let us say 6 numbers are going to be A1, A2, A3, A4, A5 and A6. Their mean is given for you 19 by 2 and A1 plus A3 value is given, which is 10. These are basically in AP, and sigma square is the variance of this going to be variance of this numbers. Okay, then we need to find out what is 8 sigma square. So first thing is that we need to know what is A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, right? So after we get to know what are the observations going to be, then we can apply the concept of variance. So how do you figure out what are the observations going to be in this case? Pretty simple, guys. All you have to do is, first thing, their mean is 19 by 2. And A1 plus A3, what is A1? Let us say A1 is given by the first term A, and A3 is given by A plus 2D, and that is 10. So from this I would get A plus D is equal to 5. So let us say this is one equation. And after that the mean is given to you. So what is the mean? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6A plus a D into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I can say 5 into 5 plus 1 by 2, 5 into 6 by 2. So 2, 3. So it's going to be 15. 15. So this is going to be the sum of all the observations, guys. Pretty simple. You can just take them. It since they are in AP, this is what you're going to get, 6A plus 15D, or else first term plus last term divided by 2 is also going to be the mean of AP. Okay, so 6A plus D15 whole divided by 6, perfect, whole divided by 6, okay, is equal to, now what am I going to get in this particular case, guys? That is equal to 19 divided by 2, right? So from here, if you observe, this is 2 ones are, this is 2 threes are 6, okay, and this is 3 ones are, this is 3 twos are, and this is 3 fives are 15. So I would end up getting 2A plus 5D is equal to 19. 2A plus 5D is equal to 19. Got it? So 2A plus 5D is 19. And you have A plus D, which is 5. So let me do one thing. Let me just multiply with the 2. So I'm going to get 2A plus 2D is equal to 10. If you subtract here, guys, 3D is simply going to become 9. So what is the common difference going to be here? D is going to become 3. Simple, easy peasy stuff. So D is simply going to become 3. Now once you get to know what is D, can you figure out what is A going to be? Of course, the first term, which is A, and that is going to be 2. Now we have A, we have D, we need to find out 6 observations. Now this is very, very simple. Now all you have to do is the first term, it's going to be 2. Now what is the second term? We need to basically make sure that the common difference is 3, right? So we have 5, then you must be having 8, then you must be having 11, and then 14. And then 17. So these are the 6 observations which we are going to get. Now once you get to know the observations, how do you figure out sigma square? How do you figure out the variance? Pretty simple, right? The variance is going to be given by the formula summation xi square I running from 1 to n, okay, whole divided by 6 minus of summation xi by 6 whole square. This is going to be the formula. Correct, everyone? So from here, you can take, let us say this is going to be your x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6. So from here, you'll get to know what are the 6 observations going to be. So substitute those values here and get the value of sigma square. And after getting sigma square, all you have to do is find out 8 sigma square. And what is the solution you got here, guys? How many solutions? What is the solution you got here? What is the answer for 8 sigma square? Well, you need to get the result to be 210. If I'm not wrong, Let me just check the solution once again, guys. The answer of this question is simply going to be, yes, 210, correct. 210 is going to be the right answer. Perfect, 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 guys, perfect. Very good, very good, very good. So this is how you have to do the questions. It's very simple, right? Using the concept of arithmetic progression, we need to basically find out what are the observations. Once you know the observations, apply the formula of the variance, and from that you are going to get the answer. Nothing complicated. So again, guys, for all the students who have your examination, this week, so definitely statistics is one such chapter which is very important. You can expect a question from here. So chalo, I think this is fine. Now let me go to another question. Okay, we are into the question of permutations and combination. You see, in shift 1, the question from permutations and combinations was damn simple. It was an easy question, nothing complicated in that. And same type of question, I can say same type in the sense the toughness level. Okay, if you see this question also, it's not that difficult. All we had to do is, you see, how many numbers more than 7,000 are going to be formed using these digits. And what is given in the question for you? The repetition is not allowed. So how do you do this question, guys? Pretty simple. So first thing, we have 5 digits. Okay, we need to find out the numbers which are greater than 7,000. So if you take 4-digit number, then what is going to happen here? The first digit can be filled in how many ways? 2 ways. You can't take 3, 5, 6, right? It has to be started with 7 and 8. So this is going to be in 2 ways. And what about this one? Since the repetition is not allowed, what happens is that, let us say in 7 and 8, 1 is going to go away. We'll be left out with the other 4 digits. So this can be filled in 4 ways. This is going to be in 3 ways. And this is going to be in 2 ways. So total number of 4-digit numbers which we are going to get in this case will be 2 into 4, 8. 8 into 3, 24. 24 into 2, 48. Now what about 5-digit numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we don't have any problem with 5-digit number, because you take any 5-digit number, you take any number from 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, any digit from this 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 and form a 5-digit number, it would definitely be greater than 7,000. Agreed. So in how many ways you can arrange 3, 5, 6, 7 and 8 in this 5 positions? 5 factorial ways, and that is going to be 120. So what is the total number of ways going to be, students? 168, and that is going to be the right answer. So is this clear for everyone? Again, a pretty simple question from permutations and combinations. So usually he will try to twist something, he'll try to complicate something in this particular chapter P and C. But definitely, guys, definitely this shift today, shift 1 and shift 2, he has not complicated anything. The questions were pretty basic, straightforward in P and C. Hopefully in the next coming sessions also, the question would remain the same. Okay, so 168 is going to be the right answer. Chalo, now let me go to another question. Now this is the question asked for you, where we need to figure out if A is a 3 cross 3 matrix, 3 by 3 matrix, such that this entire thing is 12 raised to 4, then what is this going to be? Again, if you remember in the session where I taught you the prediction wala, session where, we have discussed about what questions can be asked, okay, from which chapters, I told you guys that in determinants and matrices, one question is system of linear equations, which was not asked. Okay, so hopefully I could not find any question from that. Another type of question is from the properties, right? From the properties of matrices and determinants, the determinant properties specifically. Questions can be framed, and you see this question, and this is a pretty simple question, man. You see, for this, all you have to remember is this basic formula related to the determinant of adjoint of A. What is determinant of adjoint of A going to be? Determinant of A raised to n minus 1, where n is going to be the order. What is determinant of adjoint A going to be, students? It is determinant of A whole raised to n minus 1 whole square. Then what is adjoint A going to be, students? What is this going to be? Determinant of A whole raised to n minus 1 whole cube. Yes or no? You might have studied this pattern, right? Related to determinant of adjoint of A. All you need to do is apply the same logic in this question. Okay. So if you see this question, guys, what is given for you? Determinant of adjoint of A. That is determinant of A. Whole raised to n. N is 3 here. So 3 minus 1 whole cube. And that is 12 raised to 4. So I'm getting determinant of 8 square to be, in fact, it's going to be 2 minus 1, sorry, 3 minus 1, 2 cube. So this is going to become 8 here, correct? So this is going to become 8 and this is 12 raised to 4. So determinant of A will turn out to be something like plus or minus square root of 12. Determinant of A value is plus or minus square root of 12. Okay. Now how do you find out this value? Determinant of A inverse adjoint of A, which you can write it as determinant of A inverse into determinant of adjoint of A. Now what is determinant of A inverse going to be? 1 by determinant of A into, and what is determinant of adjoint of A going to be? It is determinant of A raised to n minus 1. N is basically 3. So you would end up getting 2. So this and this is getting cancelled. So this value right here, is simply determinant of A, and for which we already know the answer, and that is plus or minus under root of 12. So this is going to be the answer, everyone. Plus or minus under root of 12 is going to be the solution for this particular question. Is anyone having any doubt in this question? Is anyone having any doubt? So again, a pretty basic question, guys, from using the properties of the matrices. Nothing complicated here. Using the properties of matrices and determinants, I think you would have easily got the answer here. So I would rate it somewhere between easy to moderate. I mean, if you know the property, definitely easy. If you don't know the property and if you started, trying to derive the property in the examination, well, that would be lengthy. You would definitely, fumble there. So that way it can become difficult for you. So definitely, guys, before your examination, I would always say, go through the formulas, go through the basics of each and every chapter. He's never going to ask you in depth. He's not going to ask you all the complicated stuff. Okay, he's always going to focus on the basics. He'll try to check whether your basics are strong or not in each and every chapter. Okay, so definitely revise the basics of each and every chapter. And with that, let me go to another question. Now you see this question right here. The student who has practiced this type of questions, I think you should not be having any problem, guys. Okay, so guys, remember, and also first thing first, the answer for this question is 1011, guys. This is going to be the answer. So how are we going to solve this question? First thing, when you have something like this, f of x is equal to 4 raised to x by 4 raised to x plus 2. Remember, for this type of equations, f of x plus f of 1 minus x is simply going to become f of x plus f of 1 minus x is simply going to become 1. If you apply this logic, now this is pretty simple now. If you see here, so f of 1 by 2023 and this f of 2022 by 2023, which is f of x plus f of 1 by x, is going to become 1. So 1 plus. Similarly, you would get another pair, right? F of 2 by 2023 plus f of 2021 by 2023. That would form another pair of this type, and the result of that is going to be 1. So how many such pairs you are going to get here? You'll be getting 1011 pairs, since you have an even number here. By the way, which you are very lucky if you have written the shifted to examination. I mean, the shifted to paper. Usually what happens is that he'll take this to an odd number. Okay, if it is ending with an odd number, then definitely what is going to happen, you would be left out with the middle term, and to get that you have to substitute x is equal to 1 by 2 and get the answer. But he had made it much more simple for you, much more easy for you by just ending it with an even number. So for that, all you have to do is to calculate the number of pairs, just divide the last even number by 2. And that is 1011. So this 1 is going to repeat 1011 times. And what is going to be the answer? Definitely 1011. So is this clear for everyone out there? anyone is having any more doubt in this question. So guys, this types of question, you see, you can find out this type of questions in the functions chapter, where specifically in functional relations, such important results were given to you. Okay, so definitely if you have done this type of question, then I guess no problem, no trouble in that. Okay, chalo. So now let me go to another question for you. Now you see this question, binomial theorem. In shift 1, binomial theorem questions were damn easy. Like literally all you had to do is apply the result. Whatever question was given to you, just apply the formula for that, apply the result of that, you would end up getting the answer. But in the shift 2, well, what he decided, I don't know why, but he decided, chalo, you need to do a little bit modification to apply the result. See, if you see this particular question right here, which is 30C1 whole square plus 2 times of 30C2 whole square plus 3 times of 30C3 whole square plus so on, 30 into 30C30 whole square is equal to something is given for you. This is given for you. Right. We need to calculate what is T. If the question could have been in this way, let us say 30C0 whole square plus 30C1 whole square plus 30C2 whole square plus so on 30C30 whole square. If the question was in this way, we could have directly written the result of this. And what is that going to be? 2n factorial, that is 60 factorial by n factorial whole square, 30 factorial whole square. I hope you remember this result, guys. If you don't remember the result, let me just write it down for you. Remember, C0 square plus C1 square plus C2 square plus so on, Cn square is simply nothing but 2n factorial by n factorial whole square. This is in binomial theorem. This is one such important result which you have to definitely remember. But the question is not in that form. So what should we be doing now? What shall we do right now? Guys, it's pretty simple. Let me do one thing. If the question is not in that format, let's modify it into that format. And that is the only change. Okay, if you see shift 1 paper, it was like literally, this is the question, okay, apply the result. But in shift 2, you need to do little bit hard work. You need to just, do a little bit modification. So in this question, guys, let me write it in this way for you. Let us say this is S, okay, which is, let us say 30C1 whole square. Or let me do one thing. Instead of writing this as 30C1 whole square, I'll write it as 0 into 30C0 whole square. Can I write it in this way? I mean, it really doesn't matter, right? 0 into anything is 0. So definitely I can start the series in this way. Plus 1 into 30C1 whole square plus 2 into 30C2 whole square plus so on 30 into 30C30 whole square. 30C30 whole square. Okay. Now let me do one thing for you. Let me write this entire series, okay, from the last term to the start term, to the first term. That is, let me write this in a reverse way. So that is, first you would get 30 into 30C0, 30C30, which can also be written as 30C0 whole square. Agreed, everyone? See, this 30C30 whole square, 30C30 can also be written as 30C0. Okay. Plus, what would you get? 29C29. So if you see the next term, so this is the last term. The last second term is going to be 29 into 30C29, right? Which can also be written as 30C1 whole square. Agreed. The last second term, last third term, what is that going to be? It's going to be 28 into 30C28 actually, which can also be written as 30C2 whole square plus so on. And the final term, which is simply going to become 0 into 30C0 whole square. So write this. So just simply reverse the order. Write this last term in the starting and accordingly the first term in the last. So why are we doing in this way? Now try to observe this. If you add up this two, if you're going to add up this two, okay, what are we going to get in this particular case, guys? Observe this. So this is 30C0 whole square, 30C0 whole square, okay. 0 plus 30 is 30, okay, so 30. Again you see here, 1 plus 29, 30. 2 plus 28, 30. Final term, 30 plus 0, 30. So that is 30 is going to become common. And what will be left out in the bracket? 30C0 whole square plus 30C1 whole square plus 30C2 whole square plus so on 30C30 whole square. This is what is going to be remaining. And I told you we have a result for this. And you see, simply apply the result. So simply I'm going to get 2 times of 15. So S will be 15 times of, what is this going to be, guys? It is simply going to be 60 factorial by 30 factorial whole square. And according to the question, this will be equal to T into 60C30, which is again 60 factorial by 30 factorial whole square. And if you see here, guys, this term and this term is getting cancelled. What is the value of T you're going to get it from here? The value of T which you have to get is 15. The right answer for this question is simply going to be 15. So how I hope you have done this question, guys. So it required a little bit modification. We already have the result of this. We already have studied the result of this binomial theorem. We have learned the result, but we could not apply it directly to the question. So for that, what I have done is do the modification in this way so that you will be able to apply the result, and from that you're going to get the answer. Got it, everyone? Perfect, perfect. So the right answer for this question is going to be 15. So the answer of this question is 15. So now let me move on to another question. Now another binomial theorem question, guys. So in the first shift also 2 questions were asked from binomial theorem. But comparatively, the first shift questions were easy, right? In binomial theorem, the first shift questions were easy, guys. The second shift questions were a bit on the tougher side. I mean, you see this question, you have to definitely know the result, but again, you can't apply the result directly. It required a little bit modification, right? And also see this particular question. This is not difficult, but a bit lengthy. I would say a bit lengthy. Okay. See, this is a very, very simple question, guys. All you have to do is, the concept wise, it's not that difficult. Okay. So it's given the sum of the coefficients of the first 3 terms in the expansion of this. Okay, so what is the binomial, this one given? X minus 3 by x square whole raised to n. Now what are the first 3 terms here? Let me write down that for you. So let me just write down the first 3 terms for you. So nc0, correct? X raised to n, that is the first term. What is the second term? nc is 1. The second term is going to be simply nc1 x raised to n minus 1, right, into minus 3 by x square whole raised to 1. That is going to be your second term. Okay, what is the third term, guys? nc2 into x raised to n minus 2 into minus 3 by x square whole square. That is going to be the third term. Now all you have to do is in the first 3 terms, you see what are the coefficients going to be. So if you observe the coefficients here, in the first term the coefficient is nc0. In the second term, the coefficient is nc1 into minus 3. Okay. And in the third term, the coefficient is nc2 into minus 3 whole square. And according to the question, the sum of all these coefficients, is simply 376. So this is equal to 376. Now from this, all you have to do is figure out what is n going to be. Yes or no? What is n going to be? It's a pretty basic equation. You would end up getting a quadratic equation, guys, in terms of n. From that, find out the value of n. Okay. So once you get to know what is n going to be, you need to find the coefficient of x raised to 4. So once you get to know what is n, I think you just have to use the concept of general term. TR plus 1 is going to be NCR, okay, x raised to n minus r into minus 3 by x square whole raised to r. This is going to be the general term. Substitute the value of n, okay, and make sure that the coefficient of x is going, the power of x is going to be 4. So according to that, you get the value of r, and for that value of r, you end up getting the coefficient, guys. Okay, so the right answer for this question should be 4, not 5. I'm not doing the calculation part. I guess you guys can do that. The right answer for this particular question is going to be 4, not 5, everyone. 405 is going to be the right answer. So again, this type of questions, you might have already done it in binomial theorem, right? Like, you might have done these questions where we took the ratios of the binomial terms or the coefficients of the binomial terms through which we have to find the value of r. Just a minute, guys. Through which you have to find the value of r, or let us say n, and after that you need to basically find out the 5th or 6th or 7th term according to the question. This was in the similar lines, okay, where n was not available to us, but to figure out n, a criteria was given for you, that the sum of the first 3 terms, the coefficients of the first 3 terms is 376, from which we can figure out the value of n. And once you get to know n, I think it's not a big deal to figure out the coefficient of x raised to 4. So I hope this is clear for everyone out there, guys. Okay, so chalo guys, let me go to another question for you. Now you see this question, everyone. I have solved this question, but I feel there is something wrong in the data. I don't know whether the student who has given me the question provided this number. So maybe he might have given me a wrong number, because 65 is not working out here, guys. I don't know whether this is the exact question in the paper. If that is the case, it's definitely a wrong question, okay. But if in place of 65, maybe if the student has given me a different number, then yes, just let me know in the chat section what was the exact number, guys. Okay, but let me tell you how to do this question. A pretty simple question, guys. You see, f of x plus y is simply what is given, f of x into f of y, correct? And what is f of 1 value given for you? 3. Now how do you find out f of 2? F of 1 plus 1, which is f of 2, and that is simply f of 1 into f of 1 according to this functional relation, and that is simply 3 square. And accordingly, how do you find out f of 3, which is simply f of 2 plus 1, which is f of 2 into f of 1. F of 2 is 3 square, f of 1 is 3, and that is going to become 3 cube. So in this way, what would I tell you is, if you find out f of n, it is simply going to become 3 raised to n. It is simply going to become 3 raised to, it is simply going to become 3 raised to n. This is a pattern. I think you might have done this type of questions, guys. So here we need to find out summation x running from 1 to n, f of x, and that is equal to 65. So that means it's f of 1 plus f of 2 plus so on, f of n. So that is 3 raised to 1 plus 3 square plus 3 cube plus so on, 3 raised to n, and that is 65. The left hand side is in GP. So what is the result going to be? It's going to be a into 3 raised to n minus 1 divided by 2, sum to n terms of GP, and that is equal to 65. And this is where I had thought, okay, this question is not, maybe it's not right, because see, you can clearly see that 3 into 3 raised to n minus 1 by 2, 65, no. This is not the right number, guys, because if you take this number, 65, you would definitely not get any answer here. You would not get n to be a natural number only, no. So what is which one, guys? It's 56. The exact number is 3279. Okay, let me just take the number 3279. But I guess, guys, the students who have written the examination, you might be knowing this better. Just let me know in the chat section what was the exact number. If it is 3279, okay. So 32, if that is the number, then this is 3 ones are, right? And this is 3 nines are 27. So I'll get 1093. So my 3 raised to n is going to become 2 into 1093 plus 1. So how much is that going to be? 6. And this is 18, and this is 2 plus 1. So this is 2187. Do we have any value of n for which 3 raised to n is 2187, guys? do we have any value of n for which 3 raised to n is going to be 2187? Yes, yes or no, yes or no. Do we have any value? Just check it out. Just check it out. Let me just check this in the calculator also. I think it's 3 raised to 7. 3 raised to 7. I think it should be 3 raised to 7. But let me just check it out for you guys. 3 raised to 7. 3 raised to 7. Okay. You have, okay, 3 raised to, okay, 1 minute. 3 raised to, just a minute guys. So 3 raised to 7. Perfect. I think I'm getting the same thing. 3 raised to 7. Yes. 3 raised to 7 is 2187. Correct. 3 raised to 7 is 2187. So definitely guys, the right answer here, n should be basically 7. So got it everyone? This question is clear for you. So I think this should not be 65. Maybe I might have got the wrong data, only this part. Okay. But anyway, I hope you guys have got the understanding, like what exactly this question is. Okay. So this is about this question, guys. A very pretty simple question. Okay. So again, this pattern functional relation is nothing new here. We have studied this in the functions chapter. F of x plus y is equal to f of x into f of y. We know how the pattern is going to be when we have this type of functional relation. So I hope this is clear for everyone. Perfect. 7 is perfect. Perfect. Very good, guys. Very good. Now let me go to another question. Now if you see this question, everyone, where I have seen students telling me, sir, how to do this question. It was complicated. But no, it was again damn simple question. You see, permutations and combinations, I don't know why, but the questions that were asked in shift 1 and shift 2 from P and C were pretty simple, pretty simple. And you see this question also, a 5 by 5 matrix is going to be formed, has to be formed using the elements 0 or 1, such that every row and every column element 1 occurs exactly once. Okay, number of ways such matrices are going to be. So how many ways we are going to get in this case? So we need a 5 by 5 matrix. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is your 5 by 5 matrix. Now in each and every row, or let us say each and every column, 5 or let us say 1 should appear only once. That is the question given for you. The element 1 occurs exactly once. Now what does that mean here, everyone? You see, let me go to the first row. In the first row, 1 can be here or here or here or here or here. So 1 basically has how many chances of filling up? You know, I can say it has 5 chances. When you see for the first row, it has 5 chances. Definitely 1 has 5 chances. What about the second row? Let us assume that 1 was fixed in the first position. Now for the second row, you cannot take 1 here. You have to choose it from the other 4. Yes or no? Since it's given for you that each and every row or column should be selected exactly once. 1 should appear exactly once. So for the second row, 1 can be filled in any of these 4. So that is going to be in 4 ways. Similarly for the third row, 3 ways. Fourth row, 2 ways, and definitely fifth row, 1 way. So total number of ways is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2, and that is simply going to be 5 factorial, my friends. 5 factorial, which is 120. So got this question, everyone? Again, it might look complicated, like the moment you see 5 cross 5 matrix, oh my god, what is this question about? We only have studied about, this 5 cross 5 matrix, 3 cross 3 matrix, 3 by 3 matrix. The question is about 5 by 5 matrix. So it might be a difficult question. No, nothing like that. Definitely nothing like that. So if you do the simplification, the answer should be 5 factorial, guys. Okay, and do the one more important thing for you. I don't know whether I don't know the options for this question. Okay, so just look at the options. Whichever option is matching with 5 factorial, which is going to be 120, that is going to be the right answer. Okay, fine. So I hope this is clear for everyone. Now let me go to another question. Now guys, let me tell you, this question was a bit complicated question. I would definitely say not an average question, an above average to difficult question. I don't think many of the students might have done this question. Okay, this required a little bit analysis. Okay, what was exactly happening? So let me discuss this question with you. So in this question, if you observe guys, what is given? This entire thing is given. The set S is going to contain this values of theta which lie between 0 to 2 pi, and they're going to satisfy this equation. Now we need to find out the value of summation sine square theta plus pi by 4 for all the values of theta which are going to be in this particular set S. Okay, this was the question given for you. So let me do one thing first. Let me figure out what values of theta will be there in the set S. Okay, so for that, try to understand this guys. What is given for you? Tan of pi cos theta. Let me take this to the right hand side. I'll get minus of tan pi sin theta. Now this minus of tan pi sin theta can also be written in this way. It can be written as tan of minus pi sin theta. Agreed everyone? And from this, when tan y is equal to tan x, what is y is going to be equal to? When tan x is equal to tan y, when tan x is equal to tan y, what is x is equal to n pi plus y? Yes or no? Trigonometric equations, basic fundamental concept. So from this we can apply the same thing, right? We can also apply the same logic here. I'll get pi cos theta to be is equal to n pi plus pi sin theta. This is what I'm basically going to get. In fact, it will be minus since we have minus pi sin theta. So it's going to be minus. Okay, so let me just cancel this pi's guys. And if you take this to this side, I'll get sin theta plus cos theta to be equal to n. This is what I'm going to get. Now from here, you have to analyze this question guys. You need to choose the values of theta in such a way that it should lie in this interval and sin theta plus cos theta should be an integer. Now what do we know about sin theta plus cos theta? Sin theta plus cos theta, what do we know? Sin theta plus cos theta is definitely going to lie in the interval minus root 2 to root 2. Minus root 2 is the minimum value of sin theta plus cos theta and root 2 is the maximum value of sin theta plus cos theta. Agreed. Now using this, between minus root 2 to root 2, how many integers are possible? Since we want sin theta plus cos theta to be equal to n, where n belongs to integer. So in this interval, how many integers are possible? Well, minus 1, 0 and 1. We can have minus 1, we can have 0, we can have 1. So let me just go with the three cases here guys. So what is the case number 1? What if your n is minus 1? So if n is minus 1, I would get sin theta plus cos theta is equal to minus 1. Now for which values of theta sin theta plus cos theta is going to be minus 1 guys? How would you know this? Pretty simple man. All you have to do is multiply both the sides. In fact, divide both the sides by root 2. If you divide both the sides by root 2, you see what I'm going to get. The left hand side is going to be simply sine of theta plus pi by 4. Agreed? If you find sine of theta plus pi by 4, you would end up getting this only. And this is equal to minus 1 by root 2. Now let me tell you guys, in fact there is no need to solve this. This is what is he asking in the question. Of course it is sine square theta plus pi by 4, which you can write it as sine theta plus pi by 4, correct? Now all you have to do is in the interval 0 to 2 pi, okay, the sine of theta plus pi by 4 is going to become minus 1 by root 2. How many times it is going to become? Definitely 2 times. In this entire cycle, definitely the negative value is going to be attained by sine 2 times. In the second quadrant, sorry, in the third quadrant and fourth quadrant. So we can directly write it down here without even figuring out what is theta. I can directly tell you, okay, this is going to occur 2 times in the interval 0 to 2 pi. I can do the similar thing. I can do the similar stuff with n is equal to 0, but I would not recommend n is equal to 0 guys. In fact, there is no need to do n is equal to 0. Why? Because try to understand this. If you take sine theta plus cos theta to be equal to 0, again divide root 2 on both the sides, you would end up getting sine of theta plus pi by 4 to be equal to 0. So of course this occurs 2 times. Again, in the interval 0 to 2 pi, this would occur 2 times. But anyway, sine of theta plus pi by 4 is 0 and we need the same value. So there is no need to consider n is equal to 0. If you consider it also, it's not going to affect the solution in any way. And what about n is equal to 1 accordingly? Sine theta plus cos theta now is going to become 1. If you divide both the sides by root 2, you would end up getting sine of theta plus pi by 4 is equal to 1 by root 2. Again, this is going to occur how many times, everyone? This is going to occur 2 times in the interval 0 to 2 pi. Now what you have to do, you need to find the summation. That is, this minus 1 by root 2 whole square, you have to take it 2 times. This 0, you have to take it 2 times. This 1 by root 2 whole square, why am I doing whole square? Because he's interested in this one, guys. If you observe, he's not interested in the sine of theta plus pi by 4. He's interested in sine square theta plus pi by 4. So you need to square it, right? So therefore, what is the solution going to be? Therefore, so this is minus 1 by root 2 whole square, which is 1 by 2. You need to repeat it 2 times, okay, plus. This is anyway 0. So 0 into 2 plus 1 by root 2 whole square is 1 by 2 repeated 2 times. And what is the answer for this going to become? The answer for this is going to be 2. The answer for this particular question is going to be 2. So is this clear for everyone out there? Is this question clear for all the students out there? So guys, definitely a good question. Definitely conceptually a good question. But the thing is that, as I told you, it's a complicated question. You need that analysis part. You have to be doing that analysis. And in the heat of the moment, examination, tension, pressure, I don't think many of the students might have attempted this one, man. Okay, but if you have attempted, definitely the right answer is going to be 2. Okay, I think we are almost done. Still we have only bunch of questions left out. I think maybe 3 or 4 questions, guys. And now coming to the next one. Again, this question right here looks complicated, but again you had to apply a very simple logic. First thing, you need to figure out what is this f of 0, f of 1, f of 2. I only got these 2 options, by the way. Okay, but guys, how do you do this question is, first thing, what is f triple dash of 3? If you see f of x, if you find f triple dash of x here, it is simply 6. So it doesn't matter at place of x, whatever number you take, f double dash of 3 is definitely going to become 6. So now, what does that mean? The f of x is going to be like this, x cube minus f dash of 1 into x square plus f dash of 2 into x plus this is going to become 6 for you. All you have to do is figure out what is f dash of 1 and what is f double dash of 2. That's it. Once you know what is f dash of 1 and f double dash of 2, you'll get to know what is f of x, and from that you can just verify the options. Now how are we going to do this, guys? How are we going to do? For that, I'll try to make it much simple for you. Let me take this as A. Let me take this as B. Okay, instead of writing every time this f dash of 1 and f double dash of 2. So my f of x is going to become x cube minus a x square plus a bx plus 6. This is what I'm going to get. Agreed? Okay, now from here, I want you guys to understand, how do you find out the values of a and b? Let us say cubic equation is given for you and you want to find the values of a and b, the coefficient of x square and x. Definitely apply the differentiation method. Go with the differentiation method. Just differentiate this. See what I'm going to get here. F dash of x is going to be 3x square minus of 2ax plus b. Now we need f dash of 1 value, right? So let me just put x equal to 1 here, right? So if I put f dash of 1, that is f dash of 1, x equal to 1, okay, I'm gonna get 3 minus 2a plus b. And what is f dash of 1? We have taken f dash of 1 to be a. So I would get 3 minus 2a plus b is equal to a. And this is simply nothing but 3a minus b is equal to 3. Yes, we got an equation in terms of a and b. We need another equation so that We can solve this too, get the values of a and b, and after that everything is happy, everything is peaceful. We'll just end up getting f of x and you can just verify the options. Got it? So now, how would you get another equation? Differentiate it once again, simple. So this is what you have, right? So let me differentiate this once again. So f double dash of x is going to become 6x minus of 2a. Agreed everyone? So what should we take x is equal to now? What should we take x is equal to now? We need f double dash of 2. So let me take x equal to 2 here. So f double dash of 2 is 12 minus 2a. Agreed. Now what is f double dash of 2? We have taken it as b. So this is equal to b. So I'll get 2a plus b is equal to 12. And yes, my friends, we did get two equations. So what is the first equation? The first equation we got is 3a minus b. Right. The first equation we got is 3a minus b is equal to, what was that? Yeah, 3. Another equation is 2a plus b is equal to 12. So I'll get a is going to be 5 here. And if a is 5, what is b going to be? B is simply going to be 2. So therefore, the function f of x is simply going to become x cube minus of, what is a value? It is going to be 5x square. And what is b value? B is going to be 2x plus 6. This is going to be the final cubic equation which you are going to get. Now, if you get this cubic equation, I think you would not do anything crazy to get a wrong answer, because already you got this cubic equation. No, all you have to do is just substitute the values. I had just two options here. Just verify the options. That's it. Find out f of 0, f of 1, and f of 2, and see which option it satisfies. So, is this clear for everyone? I think Harsha has posted the solution. The right answer is, sir, 2 into f of 0 minus f of 1 plus f of 3 is equal to f of 2. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Very good, Harsha. Very good, guys. Very good. So, did you get the same equation, everyone? All the students who have written the examination, did you get the same equation? If you have got this cubic equation, then yes, perfectly. There is nothing wrong you have done. You would definitely end up getting the right answer. I don't think, unless and until you do some crazy stuff when you're applying the options, I don't think you would get anything different here. A is going to become 3. Oh my god. Oh my god. I am very sorry, guys. I'm very sorry. I don't know why I have done such a silly mistake. See, it happens. It happens. It happens with me. It happens with all the students out there. So it's 5a is equal to 15. Agreed. A is going to become 3. B is 2. So according to that, this is my cubic equation. You see, this is my cubic equation. X cube minus 3x square plus 2x plus 6. Correct, correct, correct. A is going to be 3. Completely agreed, guys. Completely agreed. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for correcting me. Okay, so this is what it is. So I think, again, I would say above average question, definitely not a moderate level question. You had to know how do you solve this type of questions. So okay, I think that the students again who have prepared very well, who have done different type of questions, I think they might have, done this pretty much without any mistakes. Okay, so I hope this is clear for everyone. Yeah, A is going to be 3 and accordingly B is going to be 6. Correct, correct. I don't know why, again a mistake. If A is going to become 3, then B is going to become 6. Correct. I completely forgot to change the value of B. Correct, everyone. Correct, correct. You guys are brilliant, man. You guys are brilliant, brilliant. Okay, so is this clear? Any doubt in this question, students? Okay, chalo. So now let me go to another question. Now again, this is a complicated question. This one was, okay, again, you needed some good conceptual knowledge, a good analysis to understand this question. But let me tell you guys, the right answer for this question is this minus 7.5 to minus 6.5. You have a closed bracket here and an open bracket here. Now, how do you do this question, guys? So let us try to understand this. So first thing is that limit extending to A, I can actually simplify this step of x minus 5. I can write it as step x minus 5 and here minus of step of 2x plus 2. I can write it as minus of step of 2x minus 2 and that is equal to 0. So from here, guys, this is what I'm going to get. Limit extending to a, step x minus step of 2x is going to be simply equal to 7. This is what I'm going to get. Okay, now try to understand this. If it could have been step x, then I don't think there is any problem with any of you, because we're already very familiar with step x. If the question could have been only limit extending to a, step x minus is equal to 7, we could have easily figured out what is going to be the values of a, such that I would end up getting 7. But it is step x minus step of 2x. So how are we going to do this question, guys? Any idea? How are we going to do this question? So for this, let me go with a different approach. And the approach is pretty basic. I mean, again, you know this formula. We do know that x is basically a combination of the integer part and the fractional part. Agreed? X is basically a combination of the integer part and the fractional part. So let me do one thing. Instead of every time writing it as integer and step x and fractional part of x, let me write this as integer. Let me write this as fractional. Let me take this as I. Let me take this as f, just for our convenience. Okay. Now you observe this, guys. Limit extending to a. Limit extending to a. So the step x is simply nothing but I. Correct? Okay. And don't get confused. I is simply nothing but step x, everyone. Okay. Minus of step of 2 into, in place of x I can write it as step x plus this one. So that is 2i plus 2 times of f. This is how I can write it, and that is equal to 7. Now try to understand this, everyone. Limit extending to a, I minus, we can apply the greatest integer function property. In fact, I have applied the property here also directly, but if you have not understood it, like how did I do it? Remember, step of x plus or minus a can be written as step of x plus or minus a if a is going to be an integer. If a belongs to an integer, you can definitely apply this property. The same thing I'm doing in here. The same thing I'm doing it here. So basically this is what I'm going to get. So I can take this 2i outside, since that is definitely going to be an integer. So I minus 2i minus of step of this 2f, and that is equal to 7. Got it? So limit extending to a, this is what I'm going to get. Minus I, okay, minus of step of 2f, and that is equal to 7, my friends. Now, do we know anything about this part? Step of 2f, everyone? Do we know anything about step of 2f? Yes. What do we know about it? Well, let me do one thing. First, let me write down limit extending to a minus I minus step of 2f is equal to 7. Now try to understand this, everyone. Try to understand this. We do know that the fractional part, of f lies between 0 to 1. So 2f is going to lie between 0 to 2. Agreed? So that means the fractional part of 2f, if it lies between 0 to 2, step of 2f can take either 0 or 1. Yes or no? The step of 2x can take either the value 0 or the value 1. So here let me consider both the cases for you. So what if I take the case number 1? Let us say case number 1, where let us say the step of 2x is simply going to become 0. Okay. So let us say the step of 2x is going to become 0. And for that, what is going to happen? Limit extending to a, this I, which was step x, right? Step x is simply going to become minus 7. So if limit extending to a, step x is going to be minus 7, that is, if step a is going to be minus 7, what is a going to belong to? A can lie between which value, students? A can basically lie between, and also one more important thing for you here, since this f you are considering, 2f you are considering it between, you can clearly see 2f you are considering it between 0 to 2. So step of 2x should be either 0 or step of 2f should be 1. Here I kind of missed a very small point for you. That is, if step of 2f is going to be basically 0, that simply means that 2f should lie between 0 and 1. Agreed? That is, f should lie between 0 and 1 by 2. The fractional part of f should lie between 0 and 1 by 2. And this is going to give us a whole new dimension to the problem, a whole new clarity. Because when you're taking step A, no, which is minus 7, okay, you have to make sure that the fractional part is going to remain, like whatever interval you're going to take, whatever values of A you're going to take, that A should have a fractional part of 0 and 1 by 2. You have, has to have a fractional part between 0 and 1 by 2. So according to that, my friends, A is going to belong to which interval? I can say if you take any value, let us say if you take any value between minus 7.5 to minus 7, agreed. If you take any value between minus 7.5 to minus 7, is it minus 7.5 to minus 7 or is it minus 6.5? I think it is minus 6.5, students. I think it should be, because it's pretty simple. If you see that, if you go between minus 7 to minus 6.5 and don't include the 6.5, minus 6.5, since we're not including 1 by 2 to the f. Okay, so if you take it in this interval, you take any value, let us suppose you're going with minus 6.9. What is step of minus 6.9 going to be? Minus 7. What is, let us say, suppose step of minus 6.4 going, sorry, 6.4, sorry, minus 6 let us say 6 going to be, again minus 7. So this is one interval which you're gonna get. Similarly, if you go to the second condition where my step of 2f is simply going to become 1. See, step of 2f can take 0 or 1. Right, so step of 2f is going to become 1. So what does that mean? 2f is going to lie between 1 and 2. So f is going to lie between 1 by 2 to 1. You have to choose the values in this way for the fractional part. So according to this, students, what I'm going to get here, I'll get limit extending to a, right, limit extending to a. This is step x. In fact, let me write it as minus step x. Okay. And what is this value going to be? That is going to be minus 1. So basically, it is going to be 8 here. So limit extending to a, step x is going to become minus 8. So which values of x will satisfy this? Definitely, we can say step a is going to be minus 8. So which values of a will satisfy this? If a is going to lie in the interval, let us suppose if a is going to lie in the interval, let us say minus 8, agreed everyone, minus 8, okay, and we can't go till minus 8 because again my fractional part is restricting me. So I'll basically go from here to here. Let me say that I'm going to go from minus of 7.5, okay, in fact minus of 7.5, okay, so that if you take any value, let us say minus 7.5, the greatest integer of that is minus 8, agreed. So minus of 7.5 to 7, where the 7 is not included. Don't include 7. If you include 7, definitely it's not going to give you minus 8. So if you take any value in this interval, minus 7.5 to, let us say 7, let us say 7.4, minus 7.3, definitely step A is going to be minus 8. So if you combine both the results, guys, this result as well as this particular result, the final solution which you are going to get is going to be this particular bracket, minus 7.5 to minus 6.5, and that is going to be my answer, guys. So if you see, this is the answer, step off from minus 7.5 to minus 6.5. So is this clear for everyone out there? So again I'm telling you guys, it's not that easy, okay, it's definitely a complicated question, okay, you need this depth analysis for this question. Again, I don't think I don't think more number of students or maximum students might have done this. Only a very few students might have done this question. Okay, how we took 2f, sir? No, it is very simple. No, see, try to understand here. In place of x, I can take step x plus step fractional part of x, which is I plus f. So 2 into I plus f is going to be 2i plus 2f. This 2i is integer always. So according to this property, I can always take the integer outside this this basically brackets, and that is how I written it down. So is this clear for everyone? We can do that. We can do that, Harsha. You can actually, verify. That is what I did. Initially, when I've seen this question, what I've done is, okay, I need 0. I equated this to, and then, I got x minus 5 is equal to 2x plus 2. Okay. And from this, I got to know that the x is going to be minus 7. So one value of A is definitely minus 7. Okay. So if we had options, I could have seen, okay, where is minus 7? In which interval minus 7 is included? I could have searched it. And after that, I could have basically seen, okay, around minus 7, okay, what is happening? Let me just take plus minus 7 and minus 7, that is above minus 7, below minus 7. Let me check for which interval this is getting satisfied. But I wanted to give you a proper approach to this question. So this is the proper way, guys. I hope this is clear for everyone out there. Okay. Sir, x is I plus step f in previous slide. Exactly. X is this one, right? You see here. X is this one. You see here. Where did I write it down? Yeah. X is step x plus. See, every number is basically a combination of its integer part, okay, and the decimal part. The integer part is nothing but step x. Agreed. And the decimal part is nothing but the fractional part. So I can write x as step x plus fractional part of x. That is x as I plus f. And accordingly, I'm doing the simplification. You see, step x is I, agreed. In place of this x, I have taken I plus f. I got 2i plus 2f, guys. Okay, so this is a bit complicated to understand also. So, but I hope you guys have understood this. Okay, we can do it, Harsha. That's what I'm telling you. If you had options, I did not have any options. If you had options, I think that is the best way. If you had options in the question, no. I think that is the best way through which you could have verified and you could have got the answer directly. I did not have any options, so I had to go in this way, man. Okay, but I think this is the way through which you can understand the proper way, I mean the proper approach, how to do such type of questions. Definitely a bit on the difficult side itself, because if you've seen shift 1, the question on limits was actually not that difficult. It was a moderate level question. Okay, fine. Chalo. Anyways, let me go to another question for you. I think we are done. Okay, great. I think also, guys, apart from this, I have noted down few questions for you, okay, and let me tell you, this question was asked in JEE main examination of shift 2. Believe me, this question was asked. What is this question? Let me just write it down for you. If the vector A is equal to I plus 2j plus m times of k cap, and the vector B is equal to I minus 2j, okay, plus m times of k cap. These two vectors are given for you. If A and B are perpendicular, if A and B are perpendicular, find m value. Find m value. Can you guys tell me what is the answer for this question? Find the value of m. Trust me, this is the JEE main question which was asked in shift 2, and I think you can clearly understand that it's a pretty basic board level question. In fact, it should not even be a board level question. Such a simple type of question, guys. Such a simple type of question, right? So here we do know if two vectors are perpendicular, A dot B should be 0. Got? So A dot B 1, and this is going to be how much? Minus 5. Perfect. And this is m square is equal to 0. So what is m square going to be here, guys? So I think it's 1, and you have, sorry, this is not 5. I'm very sorry. This is 4. 2's are 4, right? Okay, so m square is going to be 3. So the value of m which you're going to get in this case is plus or minus root 3. The value of m which you're going to get in this case is plus or minus root 3. Imagine this question was asked in the examination and you somehow did not even see this question. Just imagine this question was asked in the examination and you somehow did not even see this question, and later when you are seeing the entire paper you realized, okay, this question was asked. I mean, how painful it could be. I think that is where there is a meme called when does this pain end? I think that is the pain which will never end. It will just haunt you like anything. Right, I think it will be forever, for eternity. It will just haunt you if you basically miss this type of question, guys. And that is why I keep telling to you, my friends, that every paper, you see every paper in 30 questions of mathematics, you'll definitely find at least 2 questions or 3 questions which are basic, very simple, direct formula, which will not take more than 30 seconds. This will not even take more than 10 seconds, guys. You should definitely do those questions. Those are the questions where you're getting those easy marks. The JEE people are giving you those easy marks. You have to be smart to basically, okay, figure out where are those questions and make sure that you get those easy marks from the JEE people. Okay, fine. So I hope this is clear. This type, see, not exactly this type of questions, but again I'm telling you, easy questions, when I tell you easy, they're directly formula based questions. Like we literally have a formula and just apply the formula, you get the answer. So you will definitely get such type of questions, guys. Okay, chalo. So now let me go to another question. This is one type of question which I have seen. There is also one more question, you know, one of my students have shared this question. You see this question, guys, if the shortest distance between, just let me write it down for you. If the shortest distance between the two lines, the lines are given for you, x minus root 6. I think you should already know this. In shift 1 also we had same type of question. The shortest distance between two lines, right? So x minus root 6 by 1, y plus root 6 divided by 2 is equal to z minus root 6 divided by 3. And what is this line? X minus lambda divided by 3, y minus 2 root 6 whole divided by 4, and z minus 3 root 6 whole divided by 5. The shortest distance between these two is given as 6, everyone. It's given as 6. You need to find out the sum of the squares of all possible values of lambda. Of all possible values of lambda. That is the question, my friends. And now you tell me, is this not a very simple question again? Don't you think, guys, this is a question which was exactly the same in shift 1. In shift 1, actually, he made it more easy for them. He literally asked, what is the shortest distance between two skew lines? Where you have to literally apply the formula, get the result. That's it, nothing complicated. Here, okay, fine, you have to use the formula. First, get the value of lambda, and after that, you have to find out the sum of all possible values. So, I don't think any discussion is required. Guys, just apply the formula. No, you already know this formula, man. You should already know this formula. What is the formula? B1 cross B2 dot A2 minus A1 whole divided by magnitude of B1 cross B2, and this is going to be the shortest distance formula. You know what is B1, B2? They're basically the direction ratios of these parallel lines, the parallel vectors. What is A1, A2? Those are the position vectors of the points present on the line. So you already know what is A1, A2, B1 cross B2, I mean B1 and B2. Just substitute those in here, and this particular formula, get the answer. And from that, already D is given, D is given for you in the question, which is 6. So D is already given for you in the question, guys. The value of D is provided to you, and that is 6. From this, calculate what is lambda going to be. After getting the values of lambda, I think you might be getting more than one value, right? And if you find the sum of the squares of all such values of lambda, the right answer for this question is going to be 732. 732 is going to be the right answer, guys. Okay, 732 is going to be the right answer. Agreed. The calculation is bit, lengthy maybe, but I don't think conceptually this question is something complicated, right? I think you might have got the answer within 2 minutes. Yes or no? I think you might have got the answer within 2 minutes, everyone. Okay, because all you have to do is directly apply the formula. Application of the formula is going to be under 30 or maximum 1 minute. Let's take another 1 minute for the calculation also. Then definitely this is what you are going to get. Okay, so this is how you are going to get the answer. A pretty simple question. So again, guys, I'm telling you this very important thing. 3D geometry, vector algebra. Please go through it. Go through the formulas. Go through the concepts, the application of the formulas. Questions are being directly asked. Formula based questions are being asked from vectors and 3D. They are very much scoring for you. Okay, chalo. So anyone is having any more doubt here? Anyone is having any more doubt here, guys? I think that's it. I think these are the questions which I've received. I think we have done almost 16, 17 questions, right? I think we are done with the 17 to almost 17, 18 questions we have done, agreed, right? So I think that's it, guys. These are the questions which I can find, you know, I could find. Okay, if we find any more questions, we'll definitely, you know, I'll take a separate session on that and we'll discuss on that. Okay, right. Sir, as the paper toughness is percentile, एक minute. Sir, what is the meaning of searching easy questions? That means we have to take time to analyze. Exactly. See, don't go with the linear approach in the exam. It's not like, okay, first I have to do the first question, then the second question, then the third question, then the fourth question. Never follow the linear approach in this type of examinations. Be smart. Okay, let us say the first 5 questions took a lot of time. So that means, okay, there are easy questions in the rest of 25. You have to search them. See, let me take my approach. When I'm doing the paper, this is how I do it. If a question, whenever I see a question, if the idea strikes my mind, okay, instantly, if I get the idea how to solve this question, I would definitely do it. But what if I don't get the idea? Well, I would think about it, analysis, I'll do the analysis for maybe 1 minute. But after 1 minute also, still I'm not able to understand or come to a conclusion or like what exactly is happening in the question. I would just leave that question there. I would go to the another question. I would not waste more than 1 or maximum 2 minutes in analyzing a question and coming to this, idea what is the question about. If I'm able to do it, if I'm able to get it, fine, I'll proceed with the question. If I'm not able to get it, if I don't have any idea, I'll not struck with the question, man. I'll just leave it there, go to another question. If you follow this strategy, that amount of time you're wasting in just analyzing the question, getting the idea for that question will definitely reduce, and this will help you in looking at all the questions. Right, so definitely follow this, students. Definitely follow this. Okay, sir, as the paper toughness is less, is the percentile gonna be less? No, it's not that way. Guys, understand percentile is relative marking. Your percentile is decided by the highest marks scored in that particular shift. Let us say in shift number 2, the highest marks are 200 and you got 150. So according to that 200 marks, your 150 marks is going to be given the percentile. So it's relative marking. It doesn't mean that, let us say in shift 1, someone scored 170 and in shift 2, let us say you scored 150. So it doesn't mean that that guy is going to get good percentile than yours. No, it's not that way. Maybe that paper might be easy. So that 170 which he scored in shift 1 was as good as your 150 in shift 2. So accordingly the percentile is decided. So don't worry about the percentile and stuff. Make sure you have given your best in the examination. The rest of the things will be taken care of. Okay, so I think that's it, guys. Thank you so much, everyone. I think we are done with the today's session. So that was about the analysis part of the JEE main, just a minute, guys, of the JEE mains 2023. Okay, fine. 2023 shift number 2, the afternoon session. I hope you guys have, got as many questions as possible. And we'll again meet tomorrow with the analysis of tomorrow's paper. We do the analysis. Let's do the analysis of again the morning shift as well as the afternoon shift tomorrow. So meet you guys tomorrow, everyone. And so there was a question related to amount for another one to frequency of TV. I don't know, guys. I think, okay, fine. Sir, can you take this class in Telugu channel also, please? Sure. And also for all the Telugu dudes out there, Telugu brothers out there, brothers and sisters out there, we have a separate channel for Telugu, which is Vedantu Telugu. Just search it. You will definitely find that channel where this entire content, the same content, and also for your intermediate boards, everything is going to be taught in your mother language, in your mother tongue, the beautiful language Telugu. So go there. Subscribe to that channel, okay, and if you have anything which is required, you can just comment in the, you can just add the comments in the comment section. Okay, chalo guys, then thank you so much, everyone. Take care, guys. Bye bye. See you guys. Good night. And chalo, I hope everyone has done a great job. So bye guys, bye everyone, take care, bye bye.